there's a car going off in the background.
Of course there is.
Welcome to Divine Disbelief episode 8?
8? We're on number 8 now.
We're in like Star Wars land now. What's the name of the 8th movie?
I don't even want to think about Star
Wars.
Is
it the
right
Jedi
now. As much
something
as I love
or
it,
other?
I don't want to think about it.
The rules don't apply. They don't apply to anybody. I am Nathaniel.
I'm Susan.
And we are joined. We forgot to ask her what she wants to be called on the show today because we're just going to make up a name.
Cheshire.
Cheshireviq is with us. How are you?
Good. I kind of assumed I could unmute myself.
Yes, you are free to unmute yourself. I see you sent us a chat. What does the chat say? Let's see. Let's see here. For the record, that's correct. You can only hear what's on YouTube, and we know that.
Yes.
Probably should have gone over that before the show started. So.
It's cool.
Yeah. But welcome in, everybody. We are so excited that you are here. It is Memorial Weekend.
It is.
So I guess it's the beginning of, Wet and Wild Way down the street from us at, the hell is the name of that water park?
Hurricane something?
Hurricane Harbor.
Hurricane
Six
Harbor,
Flags Hurricane Harbor.
I was going to say Hurricane Alley, but I didn't think that was right.
Yeah, very much. Did we... Did we lose
Oh, no.
Cheshire?
I think we did.
What?
No, you're still there.
Still here.
The video on our side is definitely frozen, so we're just going to believe that you're good to go. But,
okay.
But it's the beginning of swimming weekend.
Yes.
Around the country. So all the soldiers and sailors died, so we could all grill and go swimming. 2 things that we saw today.
I mean, along with some really, really awful service at Buffalo Wild Wings, but...
Yeah. We're trying to get a corporate sponsor here, so we're not going to talk...
Yeah, we're not going to actively talk crap
Not the best service today, though.
No. Oh, well.
But we are excited to have you with us, Cheshire. How are you?
I'm excited to be here. Might still be a little bit drowsy.
Yeah?
I just woke up, but I'm here, ready to go. Morning news for me.
Yeah, it's that is we are still working on the intro tag.
I'll get something written.
It's not our fault that there's always something going on in the background whenever we just start. Whether it's kids murdering each other outside, not literally, hopefully. No. Or that car alarm going off for the past 20 minutes.
If you don't look and confirm it's children murdering each other, you're not responsible.
Exactly. It's like Schrodinger's murder, I guess.
The kids are both dead and alive at the same time.
Exactly.
But it is Memorial Weekend.
Yes.
And so certainly something that we all think about around this time of the year.
Yeah.
Regardless of our opinion, and of course, Cheshire, this doesn't apply to you, so you can sit back. You're from Canada. Yeah. But we, regardless of how we view the current administration.
YouTube says both vids are frozen for me.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. I mean, I'm paused, so. Yeah, but that's from...
Yeah, it's from earlier. Are they both frozen?
They're both frozen on my end, but they can still hear us from what...
Yeah.
Well, now it's a podcast.
Yep. And now we all have goofy looks on our faces.
Wonder if it's definitely frozen. I went back. I transitioned over to us, so it should transition.
Yeah, it's just
It should transition over to just the intro.
Yeah, very, very shortly. So.
I've definitely had goofier faces, so I'll take that one.
Yeah, we don't look really bad, and Susan and I are really great at having like the worst timing with faces and stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm really awful about that.
Yeah. But that should there we go.
There
That should transition over, and
yeah.
you should be able to see that. Now it's just now we're just a podcast. But as I was saying, a lot of people gave everything, gave their lives so that we can do something like this.
Yes.
And the people, we're going to find out this evening that there are people who would rather we are not able to do this. And
I feel like that's pretty much standard.
That's every week for
standard
us.
Operating procedure.
That's in every. But the brave men and women that put their lives on the line and gave everything, allowing us to do this right here, we should never forget that.
Yeah.
So everybody have a a safe and memorable Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So,
Most of all, safe.
yes,
Please.
be safe.
Please be safe.
Please.
Yeah.
Actually wanted to start today off. We got we saw a Twitter thread yesterday.
Yesterday and the day before, one or the other.
And it really warmed our hearts. And so we decided that we would read it on air because it was really nice. And now I can't find it because that's...
Oh, I got you.
You got it?
Yeah. So this I'll just sort of do a little intro and I'll let you read it. This came from a Twitter user, OopsieB. They are Oopsie the Skeptical Bubble. And they're talking about how they have found different YouTubers that, they have discovered as they have, sort of searched for an atheist community. Because a big thing that I'm a proponent of is finding atheist communities, and you can find a lot of those online a lot of the time. So Oopsie tweeted, it was yesterday. You're right, it was yesterday. So I've got it right there.
Said, irony of why I started searching online the past few months and discovered a community of atheists. I was dealing with a sly, manipulative Christian who wouldn't take no for an answer. So I was trying to find something to help me out online when I discovered Dear Mr. Atheist. From there, I discovered Cyrus the Skeptic, and wouldn't you know it, I found Non-Sex Show, which introduced me to Shannon Q. I found Rachel Oates, who did a video on an awful book, How to Train Your Child by That Awful Family, and I never realized how awful that book was, even though my parents punished us by it. Cosmic Skeptic, you were next, and definitely love your videos just as much. Ever since then, I keep finding more YouTubers I love to listen to. Divine Disbelief, Atheist Unlikely, who is my most recent subscription. I love to listen into how each of you think about the same subject, and although you may have different takes on the content you post, I find that absolutely refreshing. You can have differing opinions with the same goals and same conclusions. Love all you, and some I didn't tag because I don't know your Twitter yet. Keep up the good work. Heart emoji.
Heart emoji.
Sounds like they're gonna find you.
Yes. So
that just warmed my cold, dead little heart.
yes, that was like the nicest thing.
Yeah, because that's sort of the first time that we've really been included in something like that. And we've only got officially 7 episodes under our belt. And it makes me really, really happy that we are included with the likes of Cyrus and Cosmic Skeptic and Rachel Oates and Shannon and Kyle, of course, Non-Sec and everything. So it makes me really happy. And like I said, I'm a big proponent of atheist communities and finding ways to connect with people, because so often when people are leaving religion, they end up, lacking people who are like-minded. Like, they lose touch with people because they end up, getting kicked out of their communities and stuff like that. So being able to connect with people who think like you do, and even those who don't think like you do, who you can... who are able to challenge your ideas and your beliefs, I think is very, very important. And I
got a little lucky in that regard. Most of the people in my church didn't like me anyway.
No, it is still as Susan was saying, it's finding that community, however it might be. We were actually talking about that as well a couple of days ago, about how I hit my microphone. How the community can be either in person or online.
Yeah.
But they're so different. And obviously the types of conversations you're going to have are going to be different and things like that.
Yeah.
But finding that community is so important.
Oh, yeah.
And lifting each other up and really, especially, we talked about this, last week when Cyrus was on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about how we need to embrace people who are just either coming out of faith or just are coming out as atheists.
Yeah.
And
it can be a huge culture shock for people when you're going to church every Sunday or more than once a week.
Yeah.
And you have that community and you have that those activities and things that people do together, and even just online, that's not really much. It still doesn't quite exist yet because it's not there's shows, but there's not events. We don't have like a big, oh, hey everybody, let's get together and play like Cards Against Humanity or something like that.
Yeah.
And you can find friends through the YouTube community where you can start doing things like that. You can start being like, oh, okay, well, I really get along with these people, so maybe we can play Dungeons and Dragons together because that's an online activity, or you like other things that you can just do. Uno, which you can play online, and it's hilarious, and I highly recommend.
Is Dungeons and Dragons online? I did not know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of like Discord and tabletop RPG stuff like that, you can just play online.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That is great.
One thing that I found that really helped me, after my ex-husband and I divorced, and a big reason why we split was because he was still a Christian and I was an atheist and everything. I still am an atheist. And I looked on Meetup. A lot of times you can just Google your area and atheists and find something. So I was living in Corpus, so I Googled, atheists Corpus Christi or Corpus Christi atheists, and I found the local Meetup group, Corpus Christi Atheists, and they have ended up, I still keep in touch with a good majority of them. We saw them back in January. We went down there and gave a sex ed presentation down there for them. And, there are still some of the best friends that I have. Like, they really are the ones that got me into activism and community and stuff like that. So awesome. I have them to thank for a lot of it. So if you have come out of religion and you're looking for communities, a lot of time Meetup is a good place to look. Facebook's a good place to look.
Adding people's Discords. From
Oh yeah.
Is a really good way to meet people, especially when the hosts are active.
Yeah, Cyrus has an amazing Discord.
I need to join that.
Yeah. I joined a Discord. Actually, I was invited to a Discord the other day by
That's
Paul.
where I came from.
Yeah?
Nice.
I'm just a dirty lurker.
Paula Gia invited me into a Discord the other day. And, by the way, I mentioned this. I was overly excited the other day. I found out that Godless Engineer follows me now. I am super excited. I realize he's been following you forever.
Yeah,
These are things we don't need to.
GE's been following me for a little bit.
I'm so excited about that. But Paula Gia invited me into a Discord server.
That's cool.
And it is one of those servers where it's like it's very academic.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, Paula Gia. If it's Paula Gia specifically, I was in that one for a little while. I had to leave it because I was just like, I can't keep up. I have too many Discord servers, and I don't feel like I'm adding anything.
and as we found out, yes. By the way, there are that time I had to take a break, like from services as well, because there's so much.
Yeah.
And of course, that's different for me because a lot of the things they talk about are not things that I'm actively involved in.
Right. Yeah. I imagine services is a lot of like philosophical stuff.
Yeah, and it's a lot of they do a lot of like art and gaming and stuff like that, which is things that I just don't.
Yeah.
I recommend the Non Sequitur Discord specifically because the mods in there are really active.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And the Bool, who does all the production for the show, is in there pretty often.
Nice.
You don't see Kyle or Steve terribly often. They crop up every once in a while, but like the people who are running the server are in there.
Nice.
And apparently Digital Hammurabi's Discord is also pretty amazing.
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
That's what I've heard. And Banana Jr. comes in and says, "Wish it was so easy to find atheist communities in Israel."
I can imagine that's definitely a place that's a little more.
Yeah.
Like that it's not so easy. So,
You're gonna Google that, and somebody's gonna be knocking on your door.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that is.
Banana, you're always welcome here. You're always
Yeah.
welcome with us. So you've got a home here that you are welcome to join us anytime.
Oh yes,
So.
and yes, and Digital Hammurabi makes amazing content, and I believe has been on Paula Gia's channel.
I'm not sure.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these days, Paul is going to invite me on, and it will be the best day of my life.
I may or may not watch Paul religiously.
Yeah. So go and follow Digital Hammurabi. That's some amazing and very academic as well.
Yeah.
So do that very much so. These are like these great folks, and she said there's not like we don't have things that we do. We have Faithless Forum.
Right.
That's every year here in DFW. That's
Yeah.
Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Apparently, people don't know what that is.
People don't realize that.
So-
Dallas
I
Fort Worth.
wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I'm the people.
And we have that, but you are correct. This is the ways that we stay connected and things like this.
Yeah.
And that's also part of the reason that we do this show is to highlight users that may not have a ton of viewers, even though the slippery slope channel has no content and more subscribers than us.
It's because it's me.
We're slightly jealous.
We saw that earlier. I was like,
That's awesome though. That's awesome though. It's really cool.
How is specifically because I've been running the media circuit. I've been on so many shows the past couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
I've just
I
been,
bet, yeah.
I'm just a dirty shill. Just go subscribe to our channel. We don't have anything yet, but we've got promo art, and we're all in pre-production. We've got a soft launch for September. Come and help us out so that way we can start sending you guys content, because we can't send you content if you're not there.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Dirty shill.
I love it.
Well, that's actually why you're here. Why we ask folks like you to come on, though, is because of we like to bring other channels. Like one day, our channel will be monetized.
Hopefully.
Actually, 100 subscribers is the goal right now, and we're at what, 94?
Let's
94,
see.
95.
Are we
We're
at 94?
almost there.
You can do it.
Oh, it doesn't tell. 95.
95.
We're
We got one
we got another
while
subscriber.
the show was on.
Yay.
It was probably Digital Hammurabi.
Because once you get 100 subscribers, then you get your
you
custom
get a
URL.
You get a real URL that
Yeah.
isn't just numbers and
Yeah.
letters.
It'll be divine disbelief, or it'll be with Susan. But we like doing that because it creates that community, and
Yeah.
it shows other channels that people might not have heard about, and so that's really important for us, we think, too. So
Yeah.
that Twitter thread, and when we saw that, it meant a lot to us.
Yeah.
So thank you for that very
Yeah.
much.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it makes me really happy. I love it.
So some news.
Some
Right?
news.
We like to do the news on this show.
Yeah.
So, and we are going to do our best, our absolute best today, to make it through all of the links.
We'll try.
We have never done that.
We'll try.
And we have more today than ever before.
Yeah.
So
You're welcome.
yes,
Because I'm the one who gathers about 90%
she really
of the links.
does. Yeah.
I scour stuff
Yeah, I go to
every
Fox
single
News.
day.
I go to Fox News.
Yeah.
It's really easy to find stuff there.
So you're the low-hanging fruit, and she's the
I do.
I mean,
gets
basically.
real content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do Fox News and Christianity Today. Those are my, and Christian Science Monitor or whatever it is.
Boo.
Yeah, but to be fair, you go to like Right Wing Watch. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
I do
so
like Right Wing Watch and like Progressive
They
Secular
just sending you
Humanist.
emails. Hey, we've got a new article. Hey, you just add yourself to the email list.
I will never be on a
I
Fox
need to-
News list.
Well, I know, like the Right Wing Watch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
list.
Yeah. If you get yourself on the emailing list, then you don't even have to go to their site.
Right. Yeah.
But we wanted to start off today with something that's not related to religion.
No, not in the slightest.
Anyway, but it's related to the state of Iowa. And
Because Nathaniel really, really hates Iowa. Actually,
Is it sports?
yes.
so
Also because it's Iowa and because it's like it's
because
Iowa.
wait, I remember what it stands for.
Yes.
I remember what it stands
Yes,
for. It
go
stands
ahead.
for idiots out wandering around.
Yes.
I remember this.
That's correct.
You're
Sounds
welcome.
like Saskatchewan.
It is it is a lot like Nebraska minus the awesome. Right? There you go. It's got a lot of corn.
So it's like in
It actually
the
has-
negative awesome.
It's
then.
negative awesome. Yeah. it has a lot of corn. In fact, it has more corn than Nebraska, right? And more people. So that's not
Today
difficult.
I learned.
But apparently, when you give crazy Iowans, and by the way, Nebraska beat the absolute dog shit out of Iowa in baseball, so you're welcome. When you give crazy Iowans farm equipment, they do crazy stuff.
They do. So an Iowa man is facing a charge of attempted murder after allegedly using a tractor to push the Decatur County Sheriff's vehicle with him in it after law enforcement was called about a fight among family members. So it's a 54-year-old named Jerry Greenland who was taken into custody following the incident that Iowa DPS took him into custody. They were called to a location in rural Grand River just after 3 p.m. because they had reports of an altercation between family members.
This is great, this part.
So Iowa DCI Special Agent Adam DeCamp said, "This was a multi-layer family conflict. There was mom and brother and nephew, a whole conglomeration of people that were there."
Yeah.
Makes it sound like it's some,
It
pyramid
sounds like
scheme.
5 people. It's a conglomeration.
It's Iowa, okay?
Yeah.
It's Iowa. And so this thing goes on. The first deputy to arrive was confronted by Greenland, who was driving his John Deere 4250 tractor with a front-end bale spear.
That just sounds like it's potentially violent.
So he
So
drove
let's
the
continue.
tractor toward the deputy's vehicle, which again, the deputy was inside of it,
Yes.
forcing the deputy to take evasive action to avoid being hit.
Yeah.
by the guy. Okay, a couple of things here.
Invasive maneuvers.
A couple of things here.
Yes.
The guy was so mad. He's like, "You called the fucking cops!
And he's like,
I'm gonna go and get the cops."
I'm going
And
to
then-
mow down this cop with a John Deere tractor.
And then,
Of course, it's a John Deere tractor.
Yes.
Specifically.
Right, yeah.
I like how they specified the make and model.
yes,
Tractor.
Only in
it's
Iowa,
important
right?
that we do that. But also,
It's not
how do you?
necessary.
What type of evasive maneuvers do you have to do to avoid a fucking tractor?
Realistically, not much.
It does
but
like
honestly,
a top speed of no.
knowing top speed of no, knowing this guy, I mean, so Nathaniel, you've watched one episode of Game of Thrones, so this means nothing to you. But there's an episode where, this is further on. This is like the Battle of the Bastards episode. Whenever Rickon is running away, and he's, they're launching arrows at this kid, and he's running away, and the whole entire time you're watching it, it's like, "Serpentine, Rickon, serpentine!" I feel like if the guy had just serpentined, then he would have been fine. But I don't
He
think
wasn't.
did.
Because he avoided the initial contact from the tractor. And then Greenland drove the tractor again. He turned and drove it at the vehicle. So he started chasing the cop.
I mean,
Right? And he hit and pierced the driver's side door.
Christ.
With
That's the important part. That's why we needed to know the make and model right there.
Yes.
So now other people know what make and model they need if they ever need to pierce a cop's car.
And because it was a tractor, and because you're never done just because you have pierced the cop car, he
mean-
pushed the vehicle sideways
Yep.
for like half a fucking football field.
100 feet.
That's not a half football field, but it's,
So that's like a third.
I'm from Nebraska. I don't know. We're not good at football right now. So,
No, I mean, not since
he
1995.
went 100 feet. That's like,
Yeah. It's like 100 feet.
yeah, that's yards.
Yeah.
Somebody in Canada needs to do metric stuff for me real quick. Yeah, and
So DeCamp goes on to say, once he was removed from the tractor, there were no further incidents with him. No other violence, no other attempts to resist.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he's outside of his tractor now.
Yeah.
What else is he gonna do? Well, I'm stuck inside of a cop car, and now I am personally also stuck inside of a cop car. So
and then they did not open fire, even though they would have been justified under Iowa law. You gotta specify Iowa law.
Is this Texas? No, it's Iowa.
Maybe if the cops in the movie Gremlins were a little bit more liberal with their weapons.
It's possible he could
You
not.
had to blow up the movie theater.
So he was in the police. He didn't apparently realize that he was gonna be attacked by a tractor. He didn't see it coming.
Who goes to work that day and is like,
Oh.
Exactly.
This is
Like
my-
I don't think that's something that the guy woke up thinking was going to happen.
No,
honestly.
no, I would hope not. But
you had a domestic dispute and then get chased by an angry man in a tractor.
the sheriff was uninjured, thankfully.
Yeah,
So,
that's good.
Good job. Way to out Florida yourselves, Iowa.
Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that they mentioned that, like, he would have been completely justified in, like, opening fire on the guy.
Well, yeah, but of course he didn't.
Oh, there was a bird
Are you
that tasted
are
like
you okay?
wings.
Was it Buffalo Wild Wings you just tasted?
Yeah.
Oh man, place is coming back to get us.
I didn't want to taste that again.
Yeah. So last week we had this Wednesday,
Yes.
a pastor was murdered by a crocodile
Right.
by
In
while
Ethiopia.
baptizing in Ethiopia.
Was it an
Ethiopia.
underage crocodile?
I mean, probably. Knowing clergy members.
And then so that happened. That was dumb.
Right.
And now this guy he tries
I mean,
to,
he's not in the clergy, but
yeah, that's
he's-
true. That is true. So
he's still-
I look forward to these kinds of things. I want to find something for this. And by the way, if you find some news that you would like for us to talk about,
Yeah.
you can send it to us. You can DM us. I think DMs are open on Twitter.
I'm not sure.
At Divine Disbelief.
Probably.
Yeah.
If we have a YouTube channel, don't we have a Gmail? Or do we only
We have a
get
Gmail.
That? Do we only get that once we get the custom URL?
Where's my Gmail? What is
Is
the
it
Gmail?
not
I think it's just divinedisbelief@gmail.com. I think so. That sounds right. But
Yeah.
I don't
Try
know.
divinedisbelief@gmail.com, and if that bounces back, let
Just-
one of us know.
Yeah, just let us know.
fix
We'll
it.
figure it out.
It looks like your tweet DMs are open.
They are.
Oh,
Okay,
sweet.
good.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're going to get into some secular news, and we're going to try and stay positive with this stuff. There is some stuff here this week that is just aggravatingly awful.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna make me cry.
I mean, we're not going to actively try to. But
anyway,
sometimes it just happens.
I forgot the second link, but
So are we doing that one? Or are we doing New York? Do you want to go Michigan or do you want to go?
yeah,
New
go to
York?
Michigan because the
Okay.
cathedral parking is actually kind of funny.
Yeah, and because I know
Yeah,
I know some of the
yeah.
people involved.
Yeah, we'll do that
so.
one, and then the link that I forgot to add about where they said they expect more. Remember, you asked me to add the extra link to it.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Did you
didn't.
not?
No, I'll do it while you're talking.
Okay. So the Michigan Attorney General announced first arrests in Catholic clergy abuse investigation. So this article is from the New York Times, published 2 days ago on May 24th. It says Michigan law enforcement officials made their first arrests in a statewide investigation into Roman Catholic clergy sexual abuse, the state's Attorney General announced on Friday. There are 5 former Catholic priests that are being charged with criminal sexual conduct, according to Attorney General Dana Nessel, but they are looking at hundreds or even thousands of alleged victims that could remain all across the state. Nessel said, "This is just the tip of the iceberg. We anticipate many more charges and arrests."
Yeah.
And there was, I feel like this had also recently happened here in Dallas.
Yes,
too.
correct. Yeah.
Like within the last week, 2 weeks, or something like
There
that.
was
Yeah.
never a reason to thank God.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like if there was a God, we'd definitely be thanking him for this
About
right now.
fucking time.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just put the next link in there, and by the
Yes,
way,
thank you.
Cheshire, you should be able to see it as well, because this one, it's the same type of abuse that we've been hearing about, that we've been hearing about for decades.
Right.
That for the grace of the freaking internet, the only reason that we know about these things now.
Yeah.
So the internet's good for something,
Yeah.
and not just pornography.
Not just for porn. So Michigan had actually began an extensive investigation last August, after the grand jury report came out in Pennsylvania that alleged that bishops and other church leaders covered up widespread child sexual abuse over several decades.
No way.
So it sort of seems like Pennsylvania, them coming out with this was really like the inciting incident for
It's gonna have a waterfall effect.
Right, yeah. It's just like this giant, snowball that's just coming.
Dam, and now it's just whole thing's gonna collapse.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm incredibly thankful for this, because this is stuff that needed to happen, because it's been like this poorly kept secret in the Catholic Church and its community, that these widespread allegations have substance to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like they're unfounded. Like, this is stuff that they have corroborating evidence and everything.
Oh yeah.
So
decades of it, right?
yeah. Oh yeah. So we're going to.
But so.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
It makes its way to the Vatican.
Well, it already has. Remember the Pope, who we're actually going to be talking about here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Has actually recently exonerated some, I don't know, person wearing red. What are the red Cardinals?
Cardinals. I think.
Thank
Yeah.
you. The team in St. Louis just got mad at me. Yeah, for some cardinal, I think, for some sort of sexual abuse complaint filed against him. Apparently, that one was there was nothing to that one.
Because I know George Pell was found guilty, right?
Yeah.
George Pell was found guilty, and he's in Australia, I think.
Yes,
I don't
that's
remember
correct.
Entirely.
But of course, you can take that with
Grain of salt. So, and Nathaniel had actually
it does review.
posted.
It's backward.
Aw, damn it.
Yes.
That's why, like, if I hold my shirt up, for when I look at it, it's backwards for me, but it's right way for them.
So we're gonna have to find a way to flip it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
But yeah, 1 in 3 Protestants now
Yeah.
think that more stories of abuse by pastors are going to be on the way.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And this comes from religionnews.com. So again, I scour the world.
Yes, he obviously does. So this one was a gentleman, I say gentleman, and I use that term very, very loosely, from a Chicago area megachurch called Willow Creek Community Church. His name is Bill Hybels. He's been accused of sexual harassment by several women connected to the church. There is another guy, Andy Savage, who's a megachurch preacher in Memphis, Tennessee. He resigned after admitting to having inappropriate sexual contact with a teenager when he was a youth pastor. And I want to very, very explicitly point out that in no way, shape, or form, at any point, did Nathaniel ever do anything that would merit any of these sorts of things in his time as a youth pastor, because he was one of the few that actually seemed to give a shit about the religious part.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's true.
As much as, you're
youth pastor,
atheisty now.
Youth pastor I've ever met that's is currently a youth pastor always comes off with creepy vibes. Every single time.
You're not a youth pastor anymore, honey. It's okay. You're not crazy.
I specifically left you out.
Who's currently a youth pastor?
Okay,
She
currently.
said that. Yeah,
got it.
she
Okay.
said that.
Okay.
Yeah, and the youth pastor that I had when I was in the early part of high school at the Methodist church I went to, he actually died in a drunk driving accident.
Was he the one that was drunk?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. He, a guy came up the off-ramp and, yeah.
I remember when I was in youth, when I was at the tail end of being in youth group, there's one of the older guys who was in college. He wasn't a youth pastor yet. And I lived on the other side of the parking lot. I lived at, the church and my house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just walking home across the parking lot, and he's like, here, I'll drop you off, because the street was, right there. And I was like, all right. And then I ended up sitting in his car for, an hour and a half, just chatting. And because my mom could see from the fucking window, after, a little bit, she just came out and was furious. I'm an idiot kid, and I'm like, what's the problem? I don't understand. And he's just like, bye.
Funny.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's
But
real funny.
this thing does go on to say that most Protestant churchgoers say they feel safe letting their children, they feel safe they and their families feel safe from abuse or harassment at their churches, but they're also unsure about whether new cases are yet to be revealed. This comes from Lifeway. So Lifeway is the Christian bookstore,
Yes.
and it's shutting down.
Yes.
They still do surveys.
I mean, I guess if they've got a research arm, I guess it's like the only part of that company that was actually like profitable.
Yeah, it's possible that
Makes sense.
It does more than one thing.
Right.
But they say 1 in 3 Protestant Christian churchgoers think there may be more stories of sexual abuse by pastors that have yet to come out. This, by the way, was released on May 21st, and 94% of teens, say teens are protected from abuse at their churches, and they say adults are protected as well. But they also say that they expect more charges of abuse to come out.
No,
Yeah.
that sounds like backpedaling to me, because
yeah.
like, they're not protected. There's nothing I can just from being in church. Anybody who's been to a church or grown up in a church, you can't tell the adults anything.
Right.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of times the adults aren't gonna actually. I have to burp. I'm sorry. There we go. At least I didn't burp straight into the microphone. A lot of times the adults aren't going to believe anything that you're going to say. And if there's anything that you say that's going to be in any way contradictory, against a story that an adult is saying, then they're not gonna believe the teenager or the child.
And even if they halfway believe you, they're gonna blame you for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, why were you in that situation? Well, you should know better. Well, blah 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 blah.
Exactly. And it's victim blamey
Yeah.
malarkey, and it's so aggravating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, 4% of churchgoers reported they know of someone attending their church, their particular church, who has sexually assaulted someone without it coming to light.
And they're not saying anything?
Correct.
Like they are basically like complicit.
Oh,
in
yeah.
it. I will use that word.
At least complicit, if not covering it up.
Right.
If they're being directly asked and then saying, "Well, I know somebody, but I'm not going to tell you who," now you're actively doing something.
Yeah.
Actively
Right.
not saying something at that point.
And
That's awful.
by the way, with 300,000 Protestant churches, 4% means that if they were to come to light, because they believe that this is true, that 4%, we'd be hearing that at least once a day.
Yeah.
And that is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
When we consider how much abuse that is.
Yeah.
And we talk about this basically every single show about why is this important? This is because these are the type of people that are put in places of power, places of trust, to where there is an ultimate amount of trust there.
Yeah.
And you can leave your children, dozens of children,
Yeah.
and young adults, alone with 1 or 2 people,
Yeah.
and without having any type of reservation about that. And now what we're saying is that we should be hearing every single day about this stuff. That's why we bring it up not just because we want to bring up the things that the people are doing that are bad, but because they are put in these positions to where it is important that we protect these young people.
Yeah.
So,
Like
yeah.
they're trusting adults, they're trusting these people who are in positions of authority, and they're having that trust, but
question authority.
yeah, exactly. They're if they dare to say anything against them, the kids end up getting either literal or figurative smackdowns.
well, 80% of them. God, I keep hitting the microphone. 80% of them. This is the last thing on this report. 80% of them said we have not heard a sermon or a message about sexual assault or
Oh God, no.
anything.
You don't talk about sex from the pulpit.
Well, not even to report these things.
No.
No, God, no.
That leads to that.
That's sad.
What do I do? You know, if I'm getting my instruction, if I'm getting my moral guide, my moral guidebook, right? And I'm getting these folks are telling me what to do. What do? I don't know, because the one thing I don't want to do, if I'm a young person and I know that my youth pastor, who I respect, who I look up to, and I have good standing in this youth group, right? The one thing I don't want to do is snitch, because what's the repercussion? We've seen this. We see it on national news. Blasey Ford, Dr. Blasey Ford, credible acts of sexual violence against her.
Yep.
We see it at the kid out at Stanford. And we see it everywhere. We see it with the guy, because he was a pastor. We talked about this one just the other day. Because he was a pastor, he got off super duper light.
Yeah,
because he was a good person because he was a pastor.
Yeah, the guy who was defrauding the school for kids with special needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's real fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Demonetize that video too. Sorry, I've already cussed twice on this. My bad.
And then I appreciate the fact Digital Hammurabi is in here providing the type of sarcastic commentary that I would also provide. And so I thank you for that.
I enjoy that. Can you do me a big favor? Can you turn up your computer audio just a skosh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I am a little bit hard of hearing.
So what's next?
So next,
see if we can't get away from charges of sexual abuse. That'd be great.
You can use your scroll wheel so it doesn't.
Oh, that's right. I can scroll wheel ignite. Ha ha!
There we go.
You guys can't see what I'm doing, but that's okay.
All right.
How the computer works.
It's crazy that I actually know how this works already too.
Do you though?
Enough.
All right. So, as many of you know, or you probably actually don't know, so I am one of the assistant state directors for Texas for American Atheists. I was an official representative for AA at the Faithless Forum. Back in April, I got to go to the American Atheists Convention and meet a whole bunch of, my peers who are with the organization and everything. And I also got to know legal counsel for American Atheists, a gentleman named Jeff Blackwell. And let me just say, not only is Jeff a humongous nerd, he also writes a hell of a demand. So, American Atheists has demanded that the New York Police Department's 77th Precinct end its practice of illegally removing vehicles from streets near the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph in Brooklyn to provide parking to churchgoers. Now, basically what they've been doing is... So they've been towing cars who are on the street parked in what they, quote unquote church parking, which is not what
it's not, because it's street parking.
Right. Yeah. It's owned, by the city. So they sent letters to NYPD, Mayor Bill de Blasio's office, and the Department of Transportation's, and American Atheists warned that such preferential treatment towards a religious institution is, of course, unconstitutional. They became involved after residents of Prospect Heights received a notice from the rector of the cathedral indicating that NYPD's 77th Precinct will be closing multiple streets on May 25th and June 1st for events taking place inside the cathedral. Now, Reverend Harrington, who is with the church, said, as usual, we'll post signs in advance to indicate where no cars will be permitted to park for those Saturdays. Please note that any vehicles remaining on the street will be relocated to a nearby street by the NYPD's parking detail. Now, okay, here's the thing. I used to work for the police department in Austin. I worked in accounting. They are allowed to do off-duty work, like security and stuff like that, as long as the church is being charged for it. Mm-hmm. Like, they can do stuff like do traffic control, they can do security, they can do stuff like that as long as the church actually pays for it. That's totally fine, that's totally legal. What they can't do is basically steal...
the police's name as a threat.
Yeah, exactly. And they're basically like they're like, we're gonna relocate these cars, but they're basically, I mean, stealing them essentially, allegedly. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. If you say allegedly, you can actually say anything that you want about anything, so it's totally fine.
Jerry
Let
Falwell's in here
alone if any
allegedly.
damage happens to any of those cars.
That's
Yeah,
actually,
like
that's
if-
my favorite allegedly.
If anything happens, like it's who's gonna be the one ultimately held liable for it?
Yeah,
you know
who's
what I mean?
liable for it? Will it be the church or will it be the police?
Right. And they can't honestly say, you know, hey, you were warned about this, so we're not going to be liable for it. It's all like, home slice, you weren't supposed to move the car. Like, it was part legally,
Yeah,
it was
there
fine.
is something where you can get a permit to be like, hey, we need to use the public property for this. Can you close the street? Like parades and whatever you want to do. But
Yeah.
there's a process for this. You can't just be like, yeah, we're moving your shit, guys.
Right. What did you... Oh, I thought you, like, wrote something else.
I'd like to point out, she can write it backward.
Yeah, I can write it backward, but I choose not to right now.
Just draw something that's equal on both sides. So even if it's mirrored, it's the same.
Race car.
Nope. Race car.
Go hang a salami, I'm a lasagna hog. Oh, no, wait, that's a palindrome.
Just draw double D backwards.
I don't know. No, I don't draw. You're the artist here, Cheshire.
Yeah, because it's
You
certainly
come
not
draw
me. It's not, I'm not
All
certainly
right.
not the artist. So...
So are they just been sent the
Yeah, so they've been sent the letters. An American Atheist Legal Center review of New York City's administrative code and rules identified no provision allowing the NYPD to displace otherwise legally parked cars to accommodate vehicles owned by attendees of private indoor events. I want to find... There he is. So, according to Jeffrey Blackwell, American Atheist Litigation Counsel, who... Hi, Jeff, you're the best.
when he watches this?
I doubt he does.
Let's tag him in this.
Still. Like, hi, Jeff.
Yeah, go to the 20, 30, 40 minute mark.
So residents and businesses alike would undoubtedly love to be able to simply walk into their local NYPD precinct and leave with a bundle of no parking signs and a commitment that certain streets and intersections will be closed to traffic at times that suit them. But that's no way to run a city. By giving the Catholic Church that kind of unfair and preferential treatment, the NYPD and any other departments that might be involved are violating the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. We're prepared to take action to end the practice. This is rules. I love it.
Sounds good.
I want some no parking signs.
I do too,
Be honest.
actually.
If
Like,
you want to allow the church to do that,
yeah.
I
you've gotta
want mine. I want mine.
Right. You've got to allow anybody to do it.
And I'm going to get it for American Atheists. I'm going to get it for the Faithless Forum.
Yep.
I'm going to get it for FFRF, the convention there.
Yeah.
We're just going to take them to... Where are they at? They're San Francisco this year, right? Where are they at? Where are they going?
FFRF's in
Yeah,
Wisconsin this year.
if you're allowed to pull all the parking, why not start pulling business? Like
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
local hotels in the area and say, oh, sorry, no, we've booked them all.
Right. Yeah. So Nick
The
Fish.
police say so.
Yeah. So like they say it's cool. It's totally fine, right? Nick Fish, who's the president of American Atheists, said, "The NYPD should not be at the beck and call of the Catholic Church, and residents, businesses, and visitors to Prospect Heights shouldn't see their cars banished from certain streets by the police simply because churchgoers in their neighborhood are unable or unwilling to do what everyone else must, take public transit, or suffer the hell of finding convenient parking in New York."
And he would know about that because American Atheist is in New Jersey.
Yeah, they're in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically the New York version.
Basically, yeah. And so what I can do is ultimately when this video ends up getting processed and uploaded, I can post the links to the letters that were sent to the Department of Transportation and NYPD and Bill de Blasio's office.
That'd be
So
fun.
We've got the link for that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put that out there. I'll put a link in the description here, as well as we'll make sure we put it on the Twitter account as well.
Yeah.
But so, no, while we do enjoy seeing the letters that are sent from the FFRF and the ones that are sent from American Atheists and the American Humanist Association and recently the ACLU, we've been fans of them recently.
Yes.
Sometimes the government works for you.
Yes.
And wouldn't you know it, Florida Man came out on the right side of things this past week.
Yay, Florida man.
Yay, Florida man!
Yes.
It's the only time we'll ever say that yay, Florida man.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to actually meet some of the members of the CFFC, the Central Florida Free Thought Community, at the FFRF convention last year. There's a couple of them.
So many acronyms.
I know, right? And they, like, the CFFC organize so many secular invocations, and they've given a ton of them. So if you're in Florida, get involved with the CFFC. They're fantastic and wonderful, and I absolutely love them. But go ahead.
Yeah, this is in
Like, I just totally interrupted you. I'm sorry.
this is in Winter Garden, Florida.
Yes.
Which I always thought was Winter Gardens for some reason.
I guess not.
I don't know. So a while back, the Winter Garden City Council or the City Commission or whatever the nonsense, whatever they call it down there in the Sunshine, fuck you, Florida, you panhandle dangling state, Sunshine State.
Is Florida America's penis?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that makes Texas the nice round ass,
Yeah, it is.
full of ass,
Full of farts.
Asses.
Anyway.
Asses.
Continue, honey.
But they had a young man, and I forget his name, who had Joseph Richardson, who actually came up and had requested to give a secular invocation because they allow that at the beginning, at the start of their council meetings.
They do.
And he had requested multiple times and was denied multiple times, and apparently became so much of a annoyance that the city council voted and said, we're only going to do this at like once a quarter. We're only going to give an invocation like once a quarter.
Yeah.
Right? And we are now going to choose.
We're gonna pray less because this secular guy's annoying us.
This is take the ball and go home type
Yeah.
thing. Yep. And so they said, we are going to choose the people who are going to give the invocation.
Yep.
And they were all Christians.
All 5 of them.
Yep.
So it's only going to be the officials
Yeah.
that are doing it.
And the first one, this is where Florida Man gets his I love this.
I dig it.
Really, really do.
Yeah, I dig it.
The guy's name is Commissioner Colin Sharman.
Yes.
Right? Sharman spelled Sharman, not like the toilet paper.
Right.
Although, dear Sharman toilet paper, if you sponsor us, I will sing your jingle. I sing it while I walk through Kroger and listen to your commercial.
He does. That's not a lie.
Yeah.
I believe it without question.
But it was actually he was the first one to give an invocation as the
Yes.
commissioner, and he did. He gave an invocation.
And it was secular.
Yep. He gave the invocation that was Joseph Richardson's.
Yes.
It
Which
was
is
yes.
fantastic.
He stood up, and there's a video of this, and we'll
Cherry
link
on
this.
top.
Yes, and we'll put the link to this as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just a little.
Oh, it's
excerpt.
very short.
It's
It's
okay. I
like
guess,
5 sentences.
Okay, here I'll read it.
Yeah.
But he does a better job, and the video of the people standing there is actually the best part of this. So I really, I'll put a link to this. I think either in the description of this or I'll put it in.
We can probably put all the links for all of our articles in
Yep.
the description. Yeah.
But he says, we are here tonight to serve the citizens of Winter Garden, who are comprised of people from many backgrounds, many different races, and many different beliefs. But through all these differences runs the strand of our common humanity connecting us and binding us together. Because of this, we share a desire to have a safe city, a welcoming city, a city full of vitality, a city for individuals and families of every stripe. May our decisions here this evening advance these common goals and improve life for all of our citizens. May we always be compassionate and prudent with our actions for those who have entrusted us with the management of their city. And that was
Way to go, Florida man.
right. I had a
Right.
little clap action, a little yes,
snaps.
yes. No snaps, all claps for Florida.
I have a soda in my other hand.
But guess
so-
what? Other Florida man,
You know what they did?
not so respectful,
Nope.
shouted, "Amen!"
Because
Yeah, well, amen just means in agreement.
It does.
Yeah.
So,
Like an eye.
thanks, asshole.
Right?
Yeah. But to them, they obviously did that.
Yeah, they did that for
Because-
the sake of
Yeah.
being like, this is a prayer, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not. We're not actually like invoking any sort of god. And I was fortunate enough to be able to give a secular invocation at a Dallas City Council meeting, which, to my knowledge, was the largest city in Texas that we've had a secular invocation so far.
Dallas.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'll be doing one in Arlington in September, so yay. And the mayor
Yeah.
of Dallas said some surprisingly nice things.
Yeah, it was
beforehand. I need to go and download it. And,
Yeah, he's no longer the mayor.
No,
He's
yeah.
the former mayor.
Yeah,
which
former
is,
mayor,
which is a
yeah.
good thing,
Mayor
by
at
the
the
way.
time.
It is a good thing. The runoff election is actually really awesome. I kind of wish we still lived, or I still lived in Dallas, because I would be voting, and I'd be making people vote too, because that runoff is legit amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really great because
Yeah.
he said we value freedom of speech and expression.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means allowing people, and I'm not quoting him, but this is basically what he said, and paraphrasing, people that don't necessarily share our beliefs.
Right.
And he did. Yeah, and it was really
It was
gracious.
surprisingly respectful.
And nobody did anything.
right.
I mean, we were in Dallas. Let's go ahead. Let's go let's go to Crockett, deep East Texas.
We'll see how it goes here in Arlington.
Yeah, Arlington is actually Arlington. We're being right in the middle of these two.
Yeah.
I do kind of look forward to that.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I want to work towards doing one
Yeah.
maybe in Fort Worth eventually,
Yeah.
but we'll see about that because I think those are during the day too.
But so that's good news.
Yeah.
Um,
Are we going to Dave Hayes?
oh man, Dave Hayes.
Dave Hayes. Oh, Dave.
Keep an eye on
Hayes.
that, by the way, because she is giving an invocation here in Arlington in September.
Yeah, September 24th.
Yeah, Arlington,
is when
Texas.
that one will be.
That's
So,
where we be.
Very
So-
excited. Very excited. I actually have to check what day of the week that. I'm pretty sure it's a Wednesday.
Ah, yeah.
90% sure it's a Wednesday. So,
Dave Hayes.
Dave Hayes.
Hallelujah,
Oh,
Dave
Dave Hayes. So Dave Hayes is a self-declared prophet, a Christian author, and an online activist who, I mean, he's a slacktivist basically.
Yeah.
He's better known.
Declare yourself a prophet.
Right? Like,
How does that?
how does that work? Like, I don't understand.
I guess I'm a prophet. Because
Yes.
I can predict when people will tell me things.
Yes.
Like on when we
On
stream,
Periscope,
when we
yeah.
stream on Periscope, I can predict when people are going to and what they're going to say.
Right.
I am definitely a prophet.
You totally are.
Absolutely.
I believe it.
Good me. Go me.
So he's also known as the praying medic, who he streamed a video on Periscope in which
Oh,
he
yeah.
declared that President Trump's political enemies, including Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and other supposed members of the deep state, will soon be swept up in mass arrests, tried, and executed for treason.
Executed for treason.
So this dickbag is basically like the male Liz Ten Fingers Crokin, because he's all up in like the QAnon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like,
God.
yes, oh my god, it's awful.
But
It's-
he has a following on YouTube.
he does.
We would like to have his following because we make better content
We do.
and it's real.
Yeah, we're not full of shit.
Nope.
So.
I mean, well, I am, but
So Hayes says, I'm here to tell you these people are going to face prosecution, they're going to face serious jail time, and some of them will face the death penalty. There is no other way forward. Trump declared war against them, and they know that they're facing life in prison or possibly a death sentence.
Okay.
this is such a bizarre backwards view of like the way things went down.
Right.
Like if anybody is part of a conspiratorial deep state, it's Trump, right? Like, right?
I would assume.
Yes.
Right? Like I'm not.
And
it's like reading the Bible and maybe just exchanging Satan and God.
Right.
He does go on and he says things about how they're going to be arrested and how it's going to work. And he actually praises what Saudi Arabia did in 2017. It's important to remember Saudi Arabia, and that they are a theocracy,
Yes.
a Muslim theocracy. The caliphate. They do Sharia for days.
Caliphate. I think it's alright.
Is it a caliphate? I'm
not sure.
I just said the word caliphate. There's going to be a Muslim that's going to come in here and tell me how wrong I am
that
about
word's
everything.
not in any of these in this article.
I'm going to find out how wrong I am about everything.
We'll figure it out.
I know the Bible upside down and inside out. There are things from Islam that I just forget.
Yeah, you don't know the word caliphate, so it's. I mean, the precise usage, but I don't either. So I'm not. I'm not criticizing you.
But you know what that means? That means
more to learn.
The Quran is 100% correct because I don't know the answer.
Because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Oh God.
Well, we're all converted.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
So we're all Muslims now. Congratulations, everybody that's listening. We're all Muslims.
It's totally cool. It's totally fine.
He said Saudi Arabia, I think, was a good example of what this will look like. We are probably going to see something like that here. There are going to be mass arrests, and these people are going to be held accountable. Trump told the media today, oh yes, they're guilty of treason, and yes, they're going to pay the penalty for it.
I don't.
And this is why people have a problem with whether or not Trump needs to be held responsible for the shit he says on Twitter.
Right. Like, because Trump is like.
He
totally...
absolutely is breaking the terms of service and should not be allowed on Twitter anymore. He absolutely
agree.
should be banned.
I agree.
And yes, I probably did pronounce it wrong. I apologize to all of our Muslim listeners.
So a caliphate is a state ruled by an Islamic leader known as a.
Oh, it's a
caliph.
Khalifa?
That's long A.
Khalifa. Which one's the short and the long
Caliphate.
one? Which one has...
Caliphate?
No.
A is the one with the long is the line over it.
Caliph.
I'm pretty sure it's caliphate.
Boy, I am sorry.
Quick, somebody get Google Translate and make the robot say it.
That's a lot of words in Wikipedia. We'll figure that out later.
But no, I mean, like, yeah, it is basically just breaking the terms of service for Twitter. But it's like Trump feeds into these people's utter paranoia and their all this conspiratorial bullshit gets, it's like this intellectual succubus that
Succubi are sexy. They're sexy.
But then he's not gonna. Then when people are like, "Well, look at what your tweets led to," he's like, "Well, I'm not responsible. I didn't say that." It's like, what?
Like you knew exactly how it was going to be taken.
Even if he doesn't, even if we give Trump the benefit of the doubt that he is so ignorant that he does not think that those things will lead to something else.
Right.
Ignorance is not a valid defense in every situation, and this would be one of those situations.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that what he's saying is now it's nutty. It's unfortunate that he has
nuttier than squirrel turds.
That's funny. It is unfortunate that he has so many views. This stuff is not going to be happening.
No.
So the question I have is: he still a prophet if he gets all this shit wrong?
Yes, because he's the one who gets to decide if he's a prophet or not. Apparently.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's what I'm assuming is he would say, this is what God said was going to happen, but because of the wickedness of man, that's why it didn't happen this way.
So then we're stronger than God. Yes! We did it again!
Yay!
We beat that motherfucker!
Woohoo!
Yes! Our wickedness trumps God's sovereign righteousness. Yes! We have overthrown the Yahweh!
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You can tell he watches sports.
That happened. A real thing happened last night where she screamed during a baseball game.
I did. So it was like the very, very last out for
Michigan.
For the Nebraska-Michigan baseball game. And the very last pitch, we thought it was just going to be, because it count wasn't like, what, 3-2?
The bases were fucking
Bases
loaded.
are loaded.
They were.
Literally, they were.
And Nebraska was up 7-3, and so a home run in the bottom of the ninth would have tied the game.
Yes, it
Yeah,
would have.
this shit was real.
So-
I was falling apart.
They bring in Gomez. Like, they take out the guy who had pitched
Oh, they pull in the pinch hitter?
No. This guy, but this is the top of the order second batter. So this guy's like,
Oh, they pulled the... Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so what they had to do was the pitcher had been throwing this whole entire game. He threw 95 pitches throughout the entire game, so it was all like, oh my god, so that was appropriate. Because Husker's 95 and stuff, and
Yeah,
he loves me more for that
I do.
now.
It was awesome.
But so they bring in Colby Gomez, and like he throws it, the guy hits it, and it's like a pop fly, and as the ball's in the air, and we see, who was it that caught it? The third baseman or the second baseman? Or the shortstop?
Yeah, it was Angelo Altavilla.
Oh, it was Altavilla. Okay, so second baseman. Right? Is he
No,
second?
Altavilla's the shortstop.
Oh, shortstop. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Sorry,
You're right.
Altavilla. But like Altavilla, like as Altavilla's underneath the ball, trying to get underneath it, I yell in the middle of this crowd of Buffalo Wild Wings, "Get it, motherfucker!"
She did.
Really loud.
I was sitting there going, "Catch it, catch it, catch it," and she's. I didn't even hear her say it. Because
He just goes, did somebody just yell "motherfucker" in the
Yeah,
middle of this
that was
Buffalo
it.
Wild Wings? I was like, that was me.
and the bartender didn't even hear you.
No.
That was crazy because she did. She said, "Get it, motherfucker."
I did.
So that was something that happened.
Yeah.
Last night, which was really, really awesome.
He likes the fact that I like baseball.
Yes, and from where that conversation came from, I don't remember.
Yeah, I have no idea. But anyway.
But how about, you know what? You know what the Bible says in Exodus?
Punch your wife if she doesn't get undressed fast enough for sex?
Actually, yeah, pretty close.
I mean, basically.
because apparently somebody in Tennessee took that very seriously.
Yep. So State Representative Douglas McClaid.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
Segue.
in Mississippi.
Oh, Mississippi.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Tennessee. We're
Sorry.
coming for you
Yeah,
again.
We'll come for you eventually.
Hey, Slippery Slope Show is here. Wait a second. Aren't you
Wait
already
a
here?
minute.
Is your other account here? Do you have? Are you running ghost accounts? Is Dave here? I'm confused.
David is here, and
Yay!
also the Slippery Slope Show is here, and also I'm here.
Yay!
Slippery Slope Show is its own account specifically because the thoughts and concerns and opinions of the cartoons are their individual opinions, and the writers cannot be held responsible.
That's important to say on these shows now.
Right.
Apparently.
Yeah. So State Representative Douglas McCloud was arrested after he allegedly punched his wife when she failed to get undressed quickly enough when he wanted to have sex. Now, this is
Did
according.
she kick him in the dick?
I really fucking hope that she did, because that's fucking ridiculous. So the 58-year-old Republican lawmaker was intoxicated, of course, and holding a glass of alcohol in his hand when deputies responded to the McLeod home shortly before 9 p.m. Saturday.
This
was, like,
guy's
last week.
58?
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Now,
is 58, and he is such an entitled douchebag.
now it is important to note that he can be in his own home in whatever varying degree of undress.
Or drunken stupor.
Yes. The other part is the issue. So
The
I
fact
don't
that he
I
punched
don't
a
care
woman.
that the
Yeah,
police
his
met
wife.
him while he was in his house. Hopefully his little wiener hanging out. I really hope that was the
Let's
case.
not body shame.
$5. $5 says he couldn't get it up.
Probably
Motherfucker
not.
punched his wife. I will body shame him to death.
Okay, you do you.
Thanks, babe.
So, deputies wrote in the report that the state lawmaker had punched his wife in the face, bloodying her nose. Deputies found blood on the couple's bed and on the floor in the same room. When they arrived, McLeod opened the door and told him that they were there because a domestic assault had been reported. Or they told him they were there because a domestic assault had been reported. And of course, McLeod says, quote, "Are you kidding me?" Yes, he said that. He said
Yes,
that.
the police were joking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, man.
nah, JK, dude.
Nah, man. We're joking with you, bro. Just like on Parks and Rec when we joke with Adam Scott.
When they prank him.
Yes.
Yes. Because I watched that episode earlier.
Yes, we did. That was earlier today.
Yes.
But this was not a prank because apparently this dude punched his fucking wife.
He did. He did.
Like
hard enough to obviously bloody her nose.
He was 58. This 58-year-old man punched his ex-year-old wife.
Yeah. Because he felt that...
Presumably around the same age, so somewhere in their 50s or 60s.
Right. Yeah. So there was another woman who was there at the house, said that McLeod's wife came running up to her room, the woman who was there, with her face bloodied. The woman shut the door and locked it with McLeod's wife inside. The other woman said McLeod started banging on the door and telling the woman to open it. He told the other woman if she didn't open the door, he'd kill her bleeping dog.
I didn't read that
Threaten
part.
the dog, get out. Nope, you're done. Threaten
Yeah.
I feel like I read these. I didn't read that part.
It's all the way down on the bottom. So.
Okay. I threatened a fucking dog.
So, yeah. I mean, that really does not surprise me
This
because...
is like peak Mississippi. All
Yeah,
right.
it really is. So there's an article that was posted on the
yesterday.
24th.
Yeah, 2 days ago, so it would have been on a Thursday.
Yeah, on
Today's Sunday.
Today's Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, today's Sunday.
It's a long weekend. I forget.
Yep.
Look at this face. How could you punch it?
Oh, which
Get into Zoom and show me.
hold on.
I want to see.
Sorry, sorry.
Come here.
We're gonna see it eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna. Hold on.
Is there?
It's
Is
there. There it
adorables?
is. Hold on.
Is there adorable?
There.
Okay.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, look
my
at that.
God.
And she's also got a Logitech keyboard. It's so cute.
The best puppy.
That was cute.
Hello,
Not a
puppy.
small pupper. In fact, if that man tried to assault this dog would probably not notice.
The dog would be like, really? Really?
He'd just turn around and be like, scratch my butt, though.
I can see.
That's like what that's pretty
Stanley.
much. Yeah, Stanley would be just all like, "Hey, play with me." Benny would just run away.
There's actually, if you rotate your chair just a
Me?
little bit, the other that's Stanley right
That's
there.
Stanley. It's a
Aw.
Stanley
Yeah.
painting.
Yeah, and Benny is
Benny's behind him.
behind me.
Over there.
I
You can also
can't
see the
see-
Baphomet.
yeah,
and you
Baphomet's
can't
there.
see the multitudes of Funko Pops, but we have.
yeah. We're
multitudes.
working on getting on like a level so we can actually get
Yeah.
all the
Just
everything's
the one that I use when I have to run away from my screen.
red
I just
Yoshi.
drop Yoshi right there and then just
I
take
love
off,
it.
takes my spot for me.
Nice.
I love it.
Actually,
it's like
here's the-
Cyrus has the.
Yeah, he has the plushie.
Has
You
the
actually
plushie
hear
Cyrus.
Stanley in the background. He just barked.
Yeah.
But,
Stanley's barking.
But so he said, "I'm gonna murder your fucking dog."
Yeah.
What a bitch.
So
Not the dog.
Mississippi House Speaker Philip Gunn said he has
Crazy
House
name.
legal staff researching how to remove McLeod if it proves true that McLeod punched his wife because she didn't get undressed quickly enough for sex.
Or at all.
Gunn said, "My office is proactively dealing with the situation on many fronts. I've requested the House legal staff to research our options for action as this case unfolds. I've contacted the chairman of the House Ethics Committee and requested the committee to closely monitor this case and determine what steps need to be taken. Finally, if the allegations prove to be true, which, I mean,
This
you
isn't.
know,
This isn't difficult.
it's not. I have requested the House legal staff to research the correct process for removal of the member if he does not voluntarily resign." So
No.
they're giving him a chance to be like, okay, I fucked up. I'll step down. I'll do the right thing. But from what I can gather, McLeod's not doing that right
They
now.
need to suspend
Sounds like an
him.
arrogant prick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First
He's
off,
not gonna do that. He's gonna be like, "But you can't touch me."
Right.
And then now they're gonna have to go through whatever legal steps because, like, yeah, it's not hard to make a decision here, but it's hard to enact that decision. I think.
Right.
yeah. Well, I'd like to point out first off, the not getting undressed quickly enough for sex.
Isn't relevant.
Yeah. Also means she doesn't want to have sex with you.
Yeah,
but,
like, take a hint, dude.
Yeah. Trust me.
Take a
We've
hint.
had sex
What do you mean
recently.
she's not just like Bruce Almighty and just.
Yeah. But we've had sex recently. Her clothing was off before mine.
It was.
Trust me. That's
It was.
if she wants to have sex with him. It's,
I just thought that was always the case.
yeah.
I mean, I'm
But-
basically always naked around him,
Yeah.
so, you know.
It's true. But
Can
You-
you blame me?
beyond that,
You just got a little embarrassed,
I
didn't
did.
you?
Beyond that, though, it is correct. That's not the part that's like the most urgent to look at. It's the fact that he fucking punched her.
Yeah, like he
Like-
feels so entitled to his wife's body that if she's not doing something that he is like authorizing her to do, basically,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
he's like, nope, violence.
There's definitely some bodily autonomy issue going on here.
Yeah, and the point to where we just find out that he's punching her just because she's not getting undressed. Imagine what it's like when she cooks the lasagna wrong.
Imagine she was just, Digital Hummer Robbie makes a good point. Maybe she was just stripping slowly and teasing him too much and got frustrated.
No.
Blue balls are not a thing, y'all. They're not a thing.
I will point out, by the way, the correct response from this is that they suspend him,
Yes.
right? And remove him right now from like pending investigation. It's what they do whenever they suspend you from work.
Yeah.
Right? Like if something happened at work and somebody was accused of some bullshit like this,
They suspend you even with pay.
yeah.
But he
this
needs
is
to
what
be
you get if you're a
suspended.
white cop and you shoot a person of color in the United States. You get suspended with pay, and then you found
true.
like innocent.
It's true.
So it's just
Not
yay.
guilty, but
Yeah, not guilty.
there's a difference between not guilty.
You're right.
and
You are
innocent.
you are
Legally, there's
cleared
difference.
of charges or whatever
Yes.
the fucking.
Yeah.
Daughter of a lawyer.
But actually, Arlington Police Department. We saw this the other day. Actually, did something. They actually fired a motherfucker for. Remember that I showed you in the newspaper.
Vaguely.
Yeah, they fired somebody
Refresh my memory.
because he killed somebody during a traffic stop, and it came back that he had done it without cause. And so
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yep. Now
Wow.
that's the next. He's also been indicted as
Good.
well. So that's the next thing.
Good.
But they suspended him, right? And yes, Banana Junior. Yes, we definitely see you're sarcastic. Thank you very much. The three of us do sarcasm. Like,
Oh, yes.
It's like I wake up in the morning and I drink a big bowl of sarcastic. How do you?
I
Drink?
usually use the /s at the
Oh,
end of things.
there
if
it
I think
is.
People aren't going to get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like no, it's not difficult, Mr. Gunn. Suspend this motherfucker pending an investigation.
Yeah. At the very, very absolute least, like they can censure him.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing. But
Yep.
at the moment, so he's McLeod is set for trial on a misdemeanor assault charge on July 9th. He's free on $1,000 signature bond, and he faces a fine up to $500 and up to 6 months in jail.
6 months.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about
right.
white.
Yeah, that was the.
The only reason,
it wrong. Thanks.
the only reason my ex-stepdad was in jail when he assaulted my family was because there were guns that weren't registered. In the
Oh,
house.
Christ! Oh, Jesus.
I realize you're in Canada and that's like a thing. Down here,
Yeah, they
Down-
They don't give a shit about that.
yeah, down here we
Texas.
just call that Texas.
Yeah.
Well, right, but he wouldn't have gone to jail for the assault, right?
Yeah.
He didn't go to jail for that. He
went to jail on weapons
because of
charges?
The unregistered firearms.
That
That's fucked up. That's entirely fucked
our
up.
society needs help.
Really does.
It needs help moving from Mississippi to Tennessee, where if you thought punching wives was bad, which it is, telling Jews what to do about the Holocaust is just a thing that they voluntarily do
Oh,
in
yeah.
the state of Tennessee.
That's just a thing. So
I
this story
I
is
make
from,
Tennessee volunteer jokes.
This story is from a little bit ago, but
It is.
the article's from the Jewish Telegraphic Agency. So thank you, JTA.
This guy is,
That's a fucking mustache, man.
and he's got like a crazy orange face. He looks
does.
like
He's
he looks like
basically a
he
Trump.
could do some Donald Trump shit.
Yeah.
Seriously, his hair and his face.
So
I
there's
gotta
a
find. I can put up on the screen.
a Tennessee judge named Jim Lammy. He posted racist and anti-Semitic articles on his Facebook page, including one saying that Jews should get the fuck over the Holocaust. Because
He's a judge, by the way.
fuck, Jewish people.
Somebody
I
respond
guess?
to him with, well, maybe then America should just get over 9/11.
Or, I mean, that's the same thing as telling black people to get the fuck over slavery.
Yes.
And that's none of this is okay. None of it is.
That's not how that works.
Like, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. Come on. So,
Holocaust denier.
There's a coalition of organizers that includes Jewish people that have called for a reprimand of Jim Lammy of the Shelby County Criminal Court. He posted a link to an article written by known Holocaust denier David Cole that referred to Muslim immigrants as, quote, foreign mud, and made the Holocaust slur. He also shared anti-immigration articles, memes, and conspiracy theories. He denied being racist or anti-Semitic and says, of course, what is it that racists hide behind? Free speech!
I've got a Jewish friend.
Right?
He didn't say that, but...
It's like, go fuck yourself, dude. He also says that nothing he has shared on Facebook would prevent him from judging all cases fairly, which I do not believe for a goddamn second.
Even if he says that, it does not matter.
Yeah,
Yep.
because it calls into question every single ruling that has come down.
Any. Yep.
Yeah, because if he has any sort of, like...
Bias at all.
Yeah, like
Well-
if he's got this bias against minorities, then we can't trust that he has not let that influence the cases he has ruled on
Which
in a
means-
negative
Like
way.
demonstrate
They,
that, right?
at this point, at this point, those individuals, if they're minorities, if they are Muslim, if they are Jewish, really anything except for a Christian,
Yeah.
right, should demand a retrial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Period.
Oh, yeah.
End of story. And by the way, Shelby County is most of Memphis, Tennessee, or if you will, Memphis, and has 927,000 people. Now, he obviously doesn't preside over all those cases, but
No.
you can imagine Shelby County in Memphis is very densely populated. It's very urban.
Yeah.
It has minorities. It has Jewish people. It has Muslims. These are people he's come in contact with, and this is unfortunately something that we are seeing more and more often. We saw the
Well, imagine
attempted.
if this guy was presiding over any kind of hate crime,
Yeah.
or any kind of like, oh well, cop using unnecessary force, or like an unreasonable stop, or
Right.
anything like that. Like all of that is just out the window.
Right. So he, Lammy goes
Thanks,
on
Banana
to
Jr., by the
say,
way.
you know how we were saying, like, he's got Jewish friends? Literally, he says that. I certainly don't agree with that, being a Holocaust denier. My best friend, who's deceased now, was Jewish, and I wouldn't do that.
Oh, you mean your best? It's like your girlfriend is from Canada, which in this case would actually kind of make sense. Never mind.
mean-
Your girlfriend's from Australia. Yep. Sorry, Cheshire.
Oh, thought I had a chance, and you just ripped it right out from under me.
Well, no, because you
sorry.
obviously exist. I could take this.
Unlike the dead Jewish best friend,
Yes.
we have evidence for your existence.
Yeah, I could just take this right here, Photoshop this, put you right next to me, put a little heart around our heads and everything. We're in love, right? My girlfriend's from Canada. The Jewish person is the girlfriend from Australia,
Yeah.
who you just don't know. Yeah, she doesn't. She'll never come over.
Yeah.
I have to go see her.
You would know her.
Use my grump face if you're gonna do that.
Oh, I will.
I expect to see that on Twitter. Tag me.
It'd be the
But
best.
I can't even run this computer half the time. How dare you? Which is kind of crazy because I'm actually really good at computers. I'm
Are you?
good. I'm good at computers. I just said that. Like I took. Well,
Did you
I'm.
hear?
Yes,
Are
I took. Let me
you?
just make this very clear, young lady. I took. These are so. It's basically Microsoft Office. I am in like the.
Ageist right now?
I am in the top 1% of Microsoft Officers. Okay.
Top 1% of Microsoft officers?
If
Is
you
that like a police officer?
if you utilize Microsoft Office, you're a Microsoft officer.
He's got a badge and everything, but the problem is that it's a badge that he made with colored pencils.
It's so cute. I'm gonna show it off.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Aww.
But I apparently, and I did these little tests that were given to me at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm pretty certain I was definitely drinking during them, and I missed one question out of like 200.
Nice.
So yeah,
So your like best friend is Clippy?
used to be
I mean, basically.
until they took Clippy away from me. Fuck you. Damn it, what's his name? Who's
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. I almost called him Steve Jobs
Is
like
Bill
7
Gates
times.
responsible for the death of Clippy?
Yeah,
I
he's
mean, I guess
responsible
so,
for everything.
according
he's
to
also,
him.
he's also responsible for like how bad Halo has gotten. It's Bill Gates.
Is he? Is
Yes.
he?
He's Microsoft. is not good at being. It's not the same as being good at computers. I can also repair computers too. I just have not learned OBS as well as I should have just yet. Okay.
That takes practice.
Thank you, jerks.
So
People call me out. We have like 95 subscribers. I'm getting called out for my computer usage. I'm fucking.
By the way,
You brought it up.
That is true.
it's like Bungie and 343 that are responsible for Halo, not Microsoft directly, just because.
Yeah, that'd be
Halo
Bungie.
is exclusively.
Yeah, that'd be an issue with
exclusively
Bungie.
on Microsoft.
And I mean, I'm
platforms.
pretty sure Bill Gates didn't kill Clippy. I'm pretty sure it was like the audience for Clippy killed Clippy.
I wouldn't doubt that actually.
We still use Clippy in memes. Okay.
Yeah,
What's
that's
this
the only
we?
place he still lives on.
Clippy will live on in all memes
Sure.
for all time.
Anyway,
I use Microsoft Paint. Does that count?
I do too. He couldn't figure out Paint 3D.
No.
Oh,
And by the way, I will point this out. Somebody asked, you didn't use paint to make your badge? I did not. And I will show off that badge. Now they have to make it. And I will say this, though. My older brother, who
Has trolled our chat before.
we're not friends,
We're not.
is actually an incredibly accomplished artist. And he drew himself a self-portrait in paint.
listen, if he's not using Mario Paint, he's not a real professional.
I guarantee you he's listening to this right now. And he's going to...
Good.
He's...
At me, bro.
As soon as he does, we'll just remove him from the chat again.
Yeah,
that's like
we have
that's
that
why
power.
that's why I gave you the wrench. Also, Talking Snake is in the chat. Everybody, make sure you do say hello to Talking Snake and go follow Talking Snake on Twitter.
Hi, Snake.
Hello.
Definitely deserving of your assistance. But now that we have sufficiently gone way the fuck off track,
Yeah, we are way the hell off topic.
I
now.
sorry, that's me.
no. This guy, this
Lamey.
this guy. How is he should be removed.
Oh, I
He
agree.
should be removed, and every single one of his, like, I just 100% every single trial,
Yeah.
every one of them.
like,
Oh
like
yeah, fine tooth comb.
retrial, thrown out, whatever.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because you can't. I mean, if he's supposed to be
Any
this
any
neutral
papers
arbiter.
or bills that he's signed off on would need to be checked too.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Like,
this
it's
guy, but as I was
fucked.
mentioning, this stuff is becoming more and more prevalent.
Yeah.
The guys that tried to do the KKK rally up in Dayton
Yeah.
over the weekend, that didn't work out so well.
9
It's like
people
Iowa
showed
baseball.
up as pro KKK people, and like 600 counter protesters were there, and that's the best.
Yes.
Love it.
Yep. And this is unfortunate, but this is the extreme religious right that is incredibly. They're very loud, and they are very, very bigoted.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate that they actually take the spotlight away from some of the good things, or a lot of the good things that religious people do.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of really awesome religious people.
Yeah.
One of my best friends, Johnny, down in Orange, Texas, I'm going down to his church in June. Sometime between June and this fall.
Yeah.
And he and I are going to sit in the front of his church because he's one of my best friends. And we're going to have a conversation, a Christian, a pastor,
Yeah.
to an atheist who was a pastor, to
Right.
show we get along and we're friends. And we love each other. And you spoke
Oh
with
yeah,
Johnny.
Individuals. There's
Yeah.
no problems. There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
problems with individuals as long as you're not, the worst kind of person.
Yeah.
On
And
either side, you can be the worst person as a religious person. You could be the worst kind of person as an atheist,
Oh, it's
as
true.
an agnostic, as most. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does not matter. That has nothing to do with whether or not you're the worst or not.
that is
Right.
absolutely correct.
Yeah.
That also, to my point there, is that we should embrace those who are doing great things because they're being overshadowed by those who are doing things like this person and doing
Right.
things.
Wasn't it Christopher Hitchens says that religious leads good people to do bad things?
It does. Yeah. People will do bad things regardless, but there are things that we would never do without it. That is correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just, I think it's important that we do highlight. Actually, I had somebody who did want to come onto the show at one point. I was talking to him yesterday, and he's a Christian. And he said, "Yeah, I'd come on your show."
Nice.
and he's I don't know how we'd fit him in there because this is like like secular area and stuff. We talked like secular content creators and stuff. But that's something to where it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, if you know theists that would want to come onto our Slippery Slope show, we absolutely would love to have them because what we're working on, it has nothing to do. We're talking about logical fallacies. It has nothing to do with whether you're theist, whether you're atheist, whether you're though those things are not related. There will be jokes that will be directed at one way or the other, but everybody commits logical fallacies. Everybody gets this shit wrong.
Right.
And that's the joke.
Yeah. Like, that's the whole point of it,
Yes. You know what else is a joke?
I know the answer to this one.
Go ahead.
It's Ken Ham.
I was wondering if you're going to do it in the accent or not.
We've got a design for
I mean-
Ken Ham. He is Ken Hamster.
Oh.
Um,
He's so he Ken Ham if
Actually give you a sneak peek if you guys want. If you guys want to see what he looks like.
yeah, if you stick it up on your screen, everybody will be able to see it. If you actually, I think if you share, it'll.
I can just link it in the chat if they want to look.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
That'll be easier, and that way we don't risk messing up the video feed.
Yeah, which we already did once.
So Ken Ham, if you are not familiar with him,
Has
in
he?
addition to being a giant piece of crap, he also has
A boat that doesn't float.
exactly. So he's the Answers in Genesis guy, and Ken Ham runs around a lot with Ray Comfort, the bananas, the atheist nightmare guy. Very
3 episodes in a row.
So
It's a bolt.
Ken Ham
I heard that.
is the owner of a life-size replica of Noah's Ark in northern Kentucky. Now, a lot of the members of the American Atheist Convention,
Replica.
replica.
Also, life size because we
Life-size.
know how fucking big this thing was.
Yeah.
Cubits. That's far.
Which we know
Man's
that's
arm.
not true.
Yeah.
Like,
My arm's the same size as yours. I don't know what you're talking about.
I
Exactly.
totally. I mean, I get it.
but the Nephilim were around at this point, and therefore, how large is a cubit now?
Oh, it's by
Fucked everything up,
equal
Ken.
children size.
I just fucked up Ken's whole. That's the Ken Ham nightmare right there.
Nightmare.
The cubit.
Yes,
Cubit is his nightmare.
the Nephilim cubit.
So he's suing his insurers. So he's got the life-size replica of Noah's Ark insured, and he's suing the insurers for rain damage.
Yes,
Yeah.
his boat.
Ding.
Can't get better than that.
So first off, it's also important to note that Ken Ham. Now, mind you, this is actually like not necessarily about the boat.
Right.
It's about like parking structures and things like that.
Yeah, it's not just the boat itself.
Yeah.
But it's not just
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But the boat still doesn't float. And still.
It doesn't.
It's important to note this. Yeah, it's like half of a facade of a boat. The other part of it is a building. Well, it's the
Yeah.
whole thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a replica.
Ken Ham is a climate change denier.
He is. He's a young Earth creationist.
Yeah. And which is kind of funny because West Virginia and Kentucky and those areas around there in Cincinnati, it goes all the way from Kansas City all the way east in that area, unprecedented amounts of rainfall, right? And so it's damaging things around there,
Yes.
including the property on which the ark sits. And so Ken Ham, instead of praying for God to fix this stuff, decides he's going to sue.
Which means that he does not trust God to take care of it.
Yep.
40 days and 40 nights worth of rain?
More than that, actually. It is like, so far this year, they're over 100 inches.
I don't
Oh,
know.
no, it has to be. No. It has to be all at once. It can't be in
yeah.
stints.
Yeah, it can't be increments. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we said at the same time. That's something we do.
So the Ark Encounter was unveiled in 2016. It's a 510-foot-long model. And they say that heavy rains in 2017 and 2018 caused a landslide on the access road. And that the 5 insurance carriers, motherfucker has 5 insurance carriers,
For one
they're
boat.
refusing to cover nearly $1 million in damage.
Yep.
The Ark Encounter has filed a 77-page lawsuit in the U.S. District Court, and they're asking for compensatory and punitive damages.
Yeah.
The Ark itself, like we said, the Ark itself isn't damaged. It's just like the roads, and the roads have been rebuilt since then.
Yeah.
The park is
never
open.
should have let him build that thing.
And he's
Kentucky.
like cheating Kentucky out of tax money. He's
Now, I was wondering if
lied.
that was dealt with yet or not. I don't think so.
Nope.
No.
It won't be either.
No, it's not gonna be. Yeah, it's not gonna, because he's all like, it's a church, and it's all like, no, it's not. It's a theme park, and you are a fucking lying piece of shit.
Well, he recently made it available where you could buy like year family passes or something to help be like, oh, look at how double the amount of people essentially, but lessen the amount of money he has to give back in taxes for tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Banana.
can just artificially inflate his numbers or deflate them as he decides.
Yes. Now he does that. Yes. Now Banana Jr. asks if it's the big Ark attraction. In my opinion, if something is an attraction, it has to attract people.
Yeah.
The
It
Ark-
has to have something that is actually like that will draw people in.
That boat that does not float does not attract even an oat. That rhymed. I could not think of anything else in the while I was saying it. Leave me alone. That's the best rhyme I've ever done in the last 10 minutes.
Anyway, so what gets
Save me from
what
that.
gets me even more is that the attractions PR firm.
Abandoned ship.
You might as well just jump on the Ark at that point.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't matter. I'll be fucking
We're going
sinking.
down.
We'll sink with the rest of them, Titanic style.
Into the ground.
Of Kentucky, just
So the PR firm for the Ark Encounter is based here in Dallas, which makes me laugh really, really hard.
oh, it is based in Dallas. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So the park is open, said Melanie Etheridge, a spokeswoman at the attraction's Dallas-based public relations firm, who only laughed when informed that Ark Encounter had sued over flood damage. You got to get to the boat to be on the boat, she said. But to Ark Encounter's lawyer, America Brooks Stubblefield, at the Cincinnati firm Keating, Muthing, and Kleekamp, the suit is
Names.
no laughing matter. We are not going to comment to the press on this case.
Because
Etheridge,
anything you say is gonna make you look like an idiot.
yeah, like anything that you're gonna say is not gonna look good for you. Like I think he realizes that. Like he totally understands.
Oh yeah, they've
Yeah.
practiced in it.
Now they tried to do a fundraiser for this.
Tried being the operative word in that
Yeah.
phrase.
I have to find it again.
Pay for my lawsuit so I can get more money, guys. Cool, thanks. It's for God though.
Where is
I mean,
it?
basically, yeah.
God wasn't good enough to protect our roads to our stupid boat.
Right. So there's Ark Encounter. Well, that's from 2012. There's an Ark Encounter fundraising thermometer update from 2012.
There it is.
Which I just gave them some ad revenue.
Damn
which
it.
I'm very sad about.
Yeah, paid nearly $1 million to fix the problem, and the insurance agreed to cover a portion of it, but not all of it, because that's what insurance fucking does.
Yeah, like, I mean, unless it's a total and complete loss, you're not gonna get full compensatory.
Yeah, there are rules.
Recovery.
There are contingencies. The insurance company doesn't want to give you money.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to point out, by the way, that the amount of roadway that was damaged is like 20 fucking
feet.
It's like 20 feet. It's not very
Christ.
far.
2 car lengths.
And they tried to raise money for this. They
Ooh.
yeah,
So
go ahead.
Etheridge issued a statement that said the lawsuit speaks for itself. We don't have anything to add at this time other than to say we are highly confident in the merits of our case as we seek a fair resolution of the matter. The statement also said Ark Encounter guests have been unaffected by the work being done at the access road. Hours of operation were never affected. So that doesn't look good if you do not have evidence of
Any kind of loss.
monetary damage. Yeah. Like
So,
you
did they just say we're not going to say anything, then said something and screwed their whole case?
They
Yes.
That was
They
it?
basically
Okay.
did.
All right.
Yeah. So the thing, I have every bit of confidence that it's just going to completely get thrown out.
Yeah.
Because not only are
Nobody's going
they,
to take that seriously.
yeah, like
It's
they're
Kentucky.
completely and totally they've defrauded Kentucky government anyway.
Yeah.
Which I think they need to. I think Ken Ham deserves to go to jail.
There's
But-
conversations to be had for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But also the is it Williamsburg or something in Kentucky? I don't
Something
know.
like
It's
that.
it's in I just probably named some town that's not close to. In Kentucky, they are not a fan of this.
Oh, no.
Of this thing that sits on the ground and doesn't attract as many people. But
Williamstown.
Even if it does, they're not getting the money
Williamstown.
for it anyway.
Right.
exactly, and they're
Yeah.
pissed. They don't like it. They fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And so they're not gonna find friendly.
Costing them money.
Yeah, they're not gonna find like very.
Friendly response.
Yeah, that'll be.
Reception.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. This would be fun to kind of keep my eyes on. As Susan and I, we listen to these people, not Ken Ham, but people here at ICR, the
Yeah.
Institute, or as we've said, like Freudian. Wow.
Institution.
Institution Freudianly saying it over and over again. Institution for Creation Research, based here in Dallas. We have met them personally
Yeah.
numerous times, as well as the folks from the Discovery Center
We've been to some of their like
seminars.
yeah,
Call it
like
that.
a conference that they had
Yeah.
back in like January.
Yep.
We went to, and I was like, "Why are we doing this?"
And
And he's
so-
all like, "It's fun," and I'm all like,
It is.
You're insane."
It's important to know if they're going to ever say anything new. They do not. But so we keeping up with. Spoiler. There's nothing new. They still don't have a theory.
Yeah.
And so for us, as we kind of keep up with this, her begrudgingly so, because I kind of drag her along to things like that.
He does.
She enjoys it more than she lets on.
But granted-
she got to see some dinosaur shit. Remember that guy picked up that T-Rex shit from the table?
yeah.
He's like, and the guy was like, "What do you think this is?" And the guy's like, "I don't know." And he's like,
It's like a
it's dinosaur poop. And he was like, I'm like, okay, it's fossilized, bro. All
Well,
right.
that's the thing. People
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah,
what
they don't.
bones are.
That was
People
also-
don't know what dinosaur bones actually are. They
Yeah.
think
Right.
they're real bones.
Yeah, they're certainly not bone. That's also where she saw a Ica stone. But
well, that and at the Creation Evidence Museum too. So you've seen multiple of the Ica
yeah, we've
stones.
seen multiple real Ica stones.
Real.
Take. I have to go see a man about a dog.
See a Man About a Dog. Do you want to do
There's a
the?
corgi. Yes, I do want to do that one.
the
That's one of my
abortion one?
favorites. Yes.
So, we're slightly going to put. You might want to take those off before you walk any further.
Yeah, because I was gonna pull those across the.
Please take your microphone to the bathroom with you.
Oh god. Piddle, 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 piddle.
We're gonna have to do one of these streams where we do like a girls' night or something.
Yes, we do. So I'm doing the third Monday of every month. I'm part of a series called Women of Deconversion. That it's me, and one of my friends that's here, a friend who's in like South Texas. There's a woman who's in Connecticut. There was a woman who's also here in like Dallas, who I haven't met yet. But we basically just talk about varying things, like, you know, our stories of coming out of religion and stuff like that, and we're gonna tackle stuff like dating as an atheist and things of that nature, and it's just like, it's so much fun.
Oh, that's
So what I will do the next time I talk to them, I'm going to be just all like, I know somebody who might want to do that. So I can throw your name in there, so that'll be fun, because it's basically just like,
bring it along.
yeah, it's basically just like a girls' night sort of thing, and it's a lot of fun. So I have it's a really good time. So Florida, we're going back to Florida, yay! So there's a Florida lawmaker that is planning to introduce a bill that's modeled after the really super ridiculously strict Alabama abortion laws. And according to this Florida lawmaker, he said that God asked him to do it. Because apparently God only asks you to do the things that are going to restrict on people's freedoms and not actually
Oh,
help
right, yeah, of
anybody.
course.
Yeah. So early in the 2019 legislative session, Representative Mike Hill, who's of course a Republican from Pensacola, he filed HB 235, and that would ban abortions in Florida after a heartbeat is detected. But it's very, very important to say that.
Mom's heartbeat?
Yeah, right. And it's all like, why are we caring about like?
We've detected a heartbeat. It appears to be the mother's.
Yeah.
Still counts.
Yeah, we don't care about that one. We just care about, you know, what is it? Fetal like electrocardiac activity or something like that, because it's at that point it's so early on
Not a
in the
heart yet.
pregnancy. Exactly.
not.
it's
There's
not
a-
a heart.
Yeah, there's a pulse happening, but it is not caused by a heartbeat.
Exactly. So
does
that's a
that
very
work?
important distinction to make. And I think a lot of the people don't
So,
understand.
yeah,
that.
no, does that mean that, wouldn't that push, if you were to specify a heart, would that not push abortions later?
That's a good question, and it's one I don't know the answer to.
Wait, what?
I will ask because in all technicality with the heartbeat bills, what they're classifying as a heartbeat is not actually a heartbeat, because at that point in the pregnancy it's not a heart. It's something,
Correct.
it's like fetal electrocardiac activity or something like that.
Correct.
I don't know the exact term. I think it's it.
It just
Yeah, but the fact that
Yeah.
they can hear it,
Well,
they
she-
classify it as that.
She
Right,
was
but I'm saying-
Sorry. Yeah, I was all like, she can
I
say
was
it better than
saying
I can.
It's not, if they're using the classification heart, would that not push abortions later, because you would actually have to establish that there is in fact a heart there, which is a very direct thing.
That's what I wonder. That's
Certainly
a really
something
good
to.
question.
Now, with that being said, it's obviously something to look at, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what they meant, but I mean, if you want to loophole a law,
Yeah, like if you want to get super like technical and pedantic about it and shit. So, but
which we should.
we should.
you should,
Yeah, really should.
because that would completely change their entire. They would have to change the entire wording of the bill,
Right.
and which would make it less emotional, right? Because they're using the word heart to be like, oh no, look, it's got a heart.
Yeah,
that's an appeal to emotion.
It
so-
tugs on the heartstrings, quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, there's no heart there. So if you want to specify heart, congratulations, you've just pushed a couple weeks further than what it is initially to
Right.
be able to get an abortion. So like, what?
Ouch!
Did you just
I hit myself.
bonk that?
Somebody's gonna.
Somebody's
Quick,
gonna be
go
like,
away from
"Ah!"
go away from the microphone before you hear me hit myself. Oh no, you already heard me hit myself because that's
Not quite. Almost there.
He's
There
a
you go.
prophet.
yeah.
Right now,
Oh,
mute
they-
it very,
they're not
very
gonna hear
quickly,
it.
y'all. Mute it very quickly because you're gonna hear a bonk very shortly.
No,
there
they hear
you
it.
go.
No, they hear it. They're hearing it real time.
Oh, real time? Because I thought it was in time with the
Yeah, but it is.
stream.
It is. So now they're hearing this after the fact.
Yeah.
Now
So, yeah,
there's
you
now.
had if you had typed it, they
Oh,
might have
yeah,
seen
no,
it
you're
ahead
right.
of
Now
time.
they're
I'm
saying
dumb,
what
I'm
they're saying
sorry.
is, yeah, my ears already hurt.
I'm
God
dumb.
damn it.
I'm dumb. So the bill HB 235 had 20 co-sponsors, which is fucking ridiculous, but it never got a hearing in any committee, so that's good. So while
Florida
speaking
has
about the recent wave of strict abortion legislation in states like Alabama, Georgia, and Missouri, Hill told an audience Thursday that he will take another shot at banning more abortions at the urging of God. As
Yeah.
plain as day, God spoke to me, Hill said at a meeting for Women for Responsible Legislation in Pensacola. He said, that wasn't my bill, talking about the heartbeat detection bill that I filed. He said, that wasn't my bill. I knew immediately what he was talking about. He said, you remove those exceptions and you file it again. And I said, yes, Lord, I will. It's coming back. It's coming back. We're going to file that bill without any exceptions, just like what we saw passed in Alabama. And when he says the exceptions, he means like
Passed
the...
in Alabama.
Yeah. It's gonna
Well,
get
okay, one, why
challenge
is
it
God
soon.
only talking to you? And two, why was God fine with abortions before?
Yeah.
But not now.
Yeah.
Like, what is it all of a sudden that he's just all like, oh, well, I mean, I
Clearly,
guess.
this guy is being spoken to by devils and demons. It doesn't coincide with God's word, so don't trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did a little thing as you might have seen in the little show notes that we've got.
Yeah, we put some stuff in there. This is
the things that we wish that God would tell not just politicians but people in general, what he would the commands that we wish he would directly give to us.
I
yes.
definitely saw these, and they were probably my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Now-
some of them are serious and some of them are silly.
Yeah.
So we'll bounce back and forth between them.
Now, yes, and
sound
this
good?
does, yeah, absolutely, we can do that for sure. We can do like three of us. Now, with that being said, this does include everybody. When we first started talking about this earlier, it was very specifically, instead of telling people to ensure that more mothers and more fetuses and infants die, either before or directly after birth, what are some things that we wish that God would say via revelation to these politicians? And we have a list that we came up with.
Yeah, it was me.
I didn't come up with a damn
It
one of
was
these.
me.
I come up with some shit on the fly.
It's all me. So I think first and foremost, we really, really wish that God would tell these politicians to, help us feed people who are hungry in the forms of programs like WIC and SNAP and
Meals on
TANF
Wheels.
and stuff like that, and Meals on Wheels, and so we're in full support of like church programs that'll feed people, like church food pantries and stuff, but also in support of like soup kitchens, which are typically church run, and stuff like food banks, and even if it's like an online food bank, there's online communities that will help. Like there's a community. We had a problem after I broke my ankle, where there was, we were sort of having a money issue, and people were like, I'll buy you a pizza. And
That's pretty cool.
There's online communities that do that, and I wish that politicians would make that a priority.
Yeah. I would like it. I would like it if God would, in his next revelation to, what's this guy's name? What's the guy's name?
The Hill guy?
Yeah.
Sorry. Mike Hill.
Mike Hill. I wish that God would tell him, take in the refugees. Just all of them.
Every single one. That'd be good.
Yep. You got the third one.
Yeah.
We're going in a circle here.
Yeah.
I get the third one.
Yes.
Allow those who want to adopt to take in children regardless of race, creed, sexual orientation. That's appropriate for what was going on in chat a minute ago. Topical.
Yes. We do. Prophets.
Yes.
All of us.
Yeah, no,
we
confirmed.
Know,
Prophet.
we know what's going to happen before it happens.
We do. We definitely do. So one thing I really wish they would help do is help house the homeless.
Yeah.
Because that's a serious problem, especially...
There's actually a Medicine Hat is the first city in Canada to eliminate homelessness for longer than 24 hours.
Really?
That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a whole program for it. It's intense, but it's functioning so far. So
Wow.
hopefully now that we've been able to test it, it'll start spreading out.
Yeah.
There
that'd
was
be
a
good.
thing that I saw on Twitter that was a guy, like a chef in a restaurant, that was like, if a homeless person asks him for money, he's like, I don't have any cash, but I can offer you a job at my restaurant right here. And he said he had this first success story with a guy coming in, like, and coming and working and busting his ass and stuff. And I'm just like, that's
awesome.
warms my
Yeah.
cold dead little heart.
What's
the next one, Nathaniel?
What's his name again?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me find that for you.
I just asked for his name not a minute ago. Or
We're talking about Mike Hill.
is it Mike Hill?
Oh, Mike
want
Hill.
the
Sorry, I thought you were
politician,
looking. I
yeah.
thought you were talking about the chef.
No. Yeah. No. Although yes, that guy too.
Gary Usher is
The chef's name.
The chef's name.
So that's a cool chef, right? So God would come down and be like, Mike. Hey, Mike.
Sad dude.
What's up, brah? Do me a solid, Mike. You trust me, right? You should trust these people to make their own decisions about their bodily autonomy when it comes to abortion, medical care, death with dignity, and other bullshit that's not any of your concern. Thanks, Mike.
Maybe tell the guy who was punching his wife this one.
Don't punch your wife, Tennessee guy.
Yeah, it's like, don't do that, please don't.
Or is he
do that.
Mississippi? Don't be a Holocaust
Mississippi,
denier.
yeah.
These are just things. Just go ahead.
I got a good one. Use your own personal means and wealth to let these aforementioned things happen. I'm pretty sure God did tell them that. I think they're just ignoring it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Specifically in the Bible more than
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, because it's
It's not even Old Testament. This is some New Testament garbage.
Yeah, like it's Jesus directly saying
Like
that.
the New Testament is better garbage than the Old Testament garbage.
No, it's not.
It's
But they
not-
can't be like, oh, it's the Old Testament, doesn't count.
Right.
It's more potpourri type garbage. They've
Is that a
Literature
Catholic
had
joke?
improved by that point, so it sounds a bit nicer.
yeah. It was Greek at this point, and so it sounded better, right? Greek sounds better than Hebrew.
I really can't tell. It's all Greek to me.
Oh,
Written words and stuff.
Yeah.
Did
Like Athena giving them wisdom.
did her joke come through?
I did do a really bad joke, and I totally spoke over you.
I
Cheshire. I'm
hope
sorry.
I hope that people hear that one. What is yours?
Allowing for divorce that doesn't turn the woman into an awful harlot, specifically in cases that you see a lot of, that I see a lot of, because I follow a lot of legal advice subreddits, men bitching about, my ex-wife wants alimony, or my ex-wife wants child support, and da-da-da-da-da, and the courts are all biased against the man, and no, go fuck yourself, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is really funny. I appreciate you for making this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This came to me while I was, like, in the
Right.
middle of of peeing
Well,
earlier.
Wait, oh, you were peeing and
I
writing
was
this.
peeing.
The best thoughts always come while you're in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah.
So here we go. I'm gonna do the regular mic again. This is, hey Mike. Hey, this is Yahweh. You remember all those people yeah, it's me. Yeah, lay the fuck down. Nope. Yep, stop freaking out, Mike. It's really me. Seriously, yes, I'm real. Okay, yes. Yeah.
Yes,
God. Calm the fuck down, Mike. It's not I swear to God, I will Vader choke you if you don't calm down, Mike. Okay, thank you. Yes, I made that film. I swear to me. Messed that one up. Whatever. Don't care. It's a phrase. Don't listen to me. Mike, these really are the end times. It's true. I'm coming back with me very soon. And I'm going to be writing inside of me. These are the end times. And because they're the end times, stop trying to make... For some reason, I made Cheshire's camera just go really fucking fuzzy. I don't know. But stop trying to push policy and legislation that it's going to affect these future generation of heathens that are going to be here after you're long gone, Mike. Okay? All right, Mike? You with me, Mike? All right, good. Go back to sleep. It's a revelation. That's how revelations occur. God, I don't know.
Well, no, so
Almost
it's
me, damn it.
Yeah, basically it's like, if you genuinely think that, like, we're in the end times, don't sit there and fucking say, we don't have to worry about this shit. Jesus is coming back soon. Don't do that. Just don't.
I am
brah.
offended. But as a Jewish atheist, I am proud. Banana Jr. and Digital Hammurabi have really, and everybody else as well, but your sarcasm has made this.
It has carried us.
So now
through.
there are some that are in here that are a little bit less serious, but still.
Yeah, these are the funny ones.
These are things that Yahweh should actually also do. If you're just gonna make fucking appearances to people and tell them to kill women, well,
Yeah, if you're just gonna troll, you may as well go the full Monty.
Yes.
yeah.
At
So
least
this one's one of my personal favorites.
yeah, you're I'm pointing up at you on the screen. So there you go. Stab. It's
Do
yours.
their best Clint Eastwood impressions.
I mean, on constant basis is that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they're forced to.
Yeah.
Like no matter what they do, anytime they're speaking in front of a microphone, it's Clint Eastwood.
Go ahead with your best Clint Eastwood, by the way.
Me?
Yeah.
Do I got to do the squinty eyes? I need a cigar.
Is that a pencil?
Of course it is. I'm an artist.
Oh,
Of course it is, punk.
that was.
Oh, this is the best.
You got a Clint Eastwood?
I already did it. You just can't see it because of the glasses.
No, you have to. Oh, is it?
It's just.
It's just the face.
It's just
I
the
the face.
don't remember.
Get off my lawn.
Are you dying?
Punk. I don't fucking remember.
She's over there.
I mean, Clint Eastwood
It's
is
like in
basically
Gran
dead at
Torino
this
when he gets
point.
shot.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's fine.
I guess I got to.
Yeah, you do a Clint Eastwood now.
Okay, fine, I will. Hey, do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do ya?
I feel like my impression was more like an impression of Ryan Stiles impersonating Clint Eastwood.
Accurate.
I feel like
Accurate. And you know, honestly, I prefer that to the actual Clint Eastwood, so it works out well.
He's an empty chair. Don't listen. That's a 2012 joke.
I'm glad I put Clint Eastwood down instead
Yes.
of like something else.
Right.
I don't know what else I would have put. Like
It's-
I don't know, Chuck Norris or something, but you know.
Chuck Norris would have been funny. Christopher Walken would have been good.
Ooh, that would have been a good one.
I can do Christopher Walken as well, but
Yeah.
go
I
ahead.
can also do an okay Christopher Walken.
I can do a Stitch. That's about the extent of what I can do. Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
I can do so many impersonations. I do it while I'm playing Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
people are like, "What the fuck is going on?"
So I really, really wish at some point that he would tell a politician that they need to build a working time machine following the plans from Back to the Future.
It's like a
Because
DeLorean.
I think it could happen. I think if you because you can actually find a listing for a flux capacitor on the AutoZone website.
would put 21 gigawatts. Right?
Let me find it really quick, and I'll put it in the chat.
It's the Libyans. Somebody's be like 1985.
Oh, it's
He's the-
O'Reilly. I'm sorry, I lied.
Oh well,
it's
it's like what
O'Reilly.
is the Great Scott, right? He is
Great Scott.
his Great Scott, Marty. That one worked. It
found
comes
me.
from like it comes
I
from
don't know the hell, but they found me. Run for it,
Yeah.
Marty!
It's the Libyans. Like it comes from like right here in the chest area, and I'm just not I'm not I'm like chesticular enough.
Chestal area.
Yeah, I don't have my muscles here. All my muscles they're down here.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd is the best, man.
He's
He was
pretty
he was actually
My
He's
favorite
a
movie
Fan Expo.
trilogy.
yeah he was at Fan Expo in Dallas here
Yeah.
2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he and Marty
like
McFly.
all the
What's his name? Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Biff Tannen,
Yeah.
and then his mom.
Oh man, I missed out. Lorraine.
Yeah, thank you for knowing that.
Shit, what's her name?
My favorite movie series.
Is it? Very good.
Ooh, the next one's a good one.
Okay.
But then the one after that is my personal actual favorite.
So play Thanos with this apparently, and rickroll your enemies with the snap of a finger.
So what I mean by this, because
wanna
I
know.
wrote this list.
I do want to know. Go ahead.
So what I mean by this is if you're getting like real fucking annoyed with somebody and you're just all like, I just want you to suffer and listen to Rick Astley.
Donald Trump.
Never gonna keep
You
you
have to know
up.
their name.
That was good.
Thank you.
There's on that one. Did you hear that?
You have to know their name.
No, I
You
mean,
can just think it.
I think
Yeah, but
well,
you need to know their name.
I've seen the Avengers. I know how this shit works.
I think what you can do with the way that I'm going to lay this out is you can think of the person because it has to be somebody that you know. Right?
Read this. I'm sorry.
Right.
Somebody you recognize.
It has to be somebody that you know like well enough, not necessarily know them personally, but know them well enough to like sort of be able to think
So
of them
anybody who's on
specifically.
TV, essentially.
Right.
Donald
Yeah.
Trump.
So if you want to like torture somebody
Donald
in
Trump.
that sense, and it's not like everybody around them hears it, it's like
Only
you
in their
rickroll them and it gets stuck in their head.
Oh, so it's like a Paul Damascus Road type shit, where it's like he's in their head
It's like a constant loop.
and falling down like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, please.
I feel like that's the song the trumpeters were playing when they walk around Jericho.
So this next
Never
one's
gonna
my
give you up, never gonna let you down for 7 days.
I'd leave for sure. I'd be like, no, make them stop. Yeah, you got the next one there.
the next one's my personal favorite.
It's
Oh, I feel
funny.
like you should read it if it's your personal thing.
No, because then it's just
Follow
funny.
Susan around with a tuba player since she hobbles around.
So the story behind this is
Not a death.
because I broke my ankle like 3 months ago, and I'm in a like one of those walking boot things. Yes!
She doesn't hobble
I-
that much.
And then when you
doesn't.
trip, it's just
Basically,
That happens.
yeah, that's entirely it. And I've made that joke at work before, and everyone's all like, "Yeah, I can see that." And I'm
She
just
doesn't
like,
hobble that much.
I do though. I do hobble. Not as much as I used to, but I still
Yeah.
hobble.
No, she's getting along a lot better.
I have.
Um,
I'm only like 2 weeks away from starting physical
yeah.
therapy.
That was a
good.
self-deprecating one, and I appreciate that one. But yeah, you don't need that. You don't hobble as much as you think you do. See, with like an elephant though. Don't do that. What's
I feel bad for the tuba player.
I know. I'll be like, oh, punch that motherfucker. What's next?
So I really wish they would get told to buy their entire town subscription to HBO, and I stole this directly from Parks and Rec, because one thing that the Eagletonians do that puts them into debt is that they buy their entire town subscriptions to HBO. And Leslie goes, "You bought your entire town subscriptions to a TV channel?" And Ingrid DeForest goes, "It's not TV."
Ah.
I mean, you could probably get a pretty good package deal if you were going to do that.
I'd imagine so.
After
I mean, if I
their
didn't have to-
layest debacle.
Yeah. I mean, if I didn't have to pay for my subscription to HBO, I'd be pretty happy. It'd save me
Stab
$15
that
a
bitch.
month.
I live in Canada.
I don't know what that means in this context. Like, when it comes to, like, healthcare and firearms and having, like, a really smart and sexy as fuck prime minister, all that stuff's awesome. I don't know what the context is of, like, HBO in Canada.
Well, we don't. It's not as big of a deal here.
Yeah.
Oh.
If that makes sense. So, like, Game of Thrones was big, and it was still big here, but I don't walk into, like, my work office and hear everybody talking about anything on HBO.
Yeah.
What do they talk about?
Stuff on
We live in Canada.
CBN.
Hockey.
Is that a thing?
Really? Talk about hockey?
Oh,
Sometimes.
yeah. I wouldn't doubt that.
Sometimes. It depends on the
Letterkenny?
day.
Yeah, Letterkenny. Letterkenny is up there. Not in your area.
No,
But-
not in my area, but yeah.
Love Letterkenny.
Yeah. She was watching it yesterday.
And I'm in the part of Canada that would probably talk about HBO the most because I'm close to Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the next one?
Next one is... Let's come down and talk to... It's Mike, right? Mike.
Yeah. We going back to Mike?
Mm-hmm. Mike. Well, Mike is the one who has heard God talking to him.
Yeah.
So, Mike, wake the fuck back up. Yeah, no, you're not getting any sleep tonight, you fucker. Hey, real quick. Remember earlier when you couldn't decide and neither could your wife? No, hold on. You're not the one that punched your wife, right? No, that wasn't
No,
you.
it's not.
I got somebody else to visit
That was
tonight
a Tennessee guy.
Yeah,
Sorry, hold on, wrong number.
too. Yeah, I'm also going to be going to Tennessee tonight. That'll be fun.
New phone, who dis?
I need you to choose what you and your wife are having for dinner, as well as what Susan is having for dinner for like the next year.
I'd be a dick. I would just say cabbage rolls. Cabbage rolls for everybody.
And I need you to be
Fine.
right. I need you to be right about it and make sure that is actually what she wants.
Okay, just for the record, 90% of the time I choose what's for dinner.
She asks me.
And he says he doesn't care.
I don't.
And I'm just like,
I totally do.
Start getting cabbage rolls every time.
Love cabbage rolls.
Well, there you go.
I'm just going to start, like, buying nothing but, I don't know.
Should we do the last one and wrap up?
Yes.
I do- like,
that one
I-
to wrap up, and then
yeah.
we wrap up, and we have one more quick article, and then we got to talk about your show and,
Yeah.
and whatnot. So yeah, what's the last one?
Get Nathaniel and Susan tickets to Hamilton.
Which I'm sincerely...
Oh God, that is. Why can't you provide that, God? Why don't you just fucking make it appear? In fact, give us some stuff where we're gonna hang out, put us back in time, Back to the Future style, which apparently that's something that's going on in this universe too, and put us back to when Lin-Manuel Miranda was doing this shit before they got the Tonys and the Emmys or whatever the shit you get for being on Broadway back in 2015, and also Obama's still the president then, so everything's great and all everything.
The reason you don't have tickets right now is because of Obama. Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
No, I don't want to be mad at him.
I have been entering the lotteries for the Austin Hamilton tickets.
Well, good. More luck to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
You need to download the Hamilton app so you can do that too, by the way.
Wait, which app?
The Hamilton app. So you can enter the lottery
Hamilton.
every day. Alexander Hamilton.
Double your chances.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's some. There's a.
Wings for you.
Yeah, there's a.
Just you wait.
That was.
I'm gonna.
That's
Anyway,
that's the
what are we
first
finishing
song.
with?
It's
What are we
Alexander
finishing
Hamilton.
Pope Francis
No.
or
Oh, God, no.
Malaysia?
No, let me just do them real quick. I'll just do them quick 15
Just go
second
through 'em really quick.
blurbs.
Okay.
Yeah. So because we can't finish off apparently with something that's kind of funny, we got to finish off with some really shitty stuff.
It's all right.
The Pope says that abortions are like hiring a hitman to kill your baby in every single circumstance, no matter what. And yes, this does include rape and incest. So the Pope,
Is a dick.
yep. Every time you want
What
to
does
turn
the Pope know about hitmen?
Timothy Oliphant. This is the second episode in a row we've mentioned him. So
You've mentioned him.
The show has mentioned him. So yeah, the Pope is wrong yet again. Imagine that bullshit. Also, they want to build a swimming pool basically on top of the new Notre Dame Cathedral. So that's a thing. They're going to put water up there. And why else would you put water on top of a building if you were not going to let me fucking swan dive into it? I don't understand.
I mean,
what
at
it would
least
be there
then if
for.
there's another fire, the water on the top might put it out.
That's fair.
That's true.
And then if you're in Malaysia and you're a Muslim,
You better watch out.
yes,
Because they're basically Santa for Ramadan right now.
they are dressing up as like cooks and waiters and servers basically, and they're dressing up and they are finding Muslims that are not obeying Ramadan, that are not fasting during Ramadan, and they are taking them basically before the police because Malaysia is not, there's no like freedom of religion there. You're fucked.
So entrapment.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah. If you go out to have dinner and you're a Muslim and you're not like obeying Ramadan and you're not fasting, they literally will try and get you arrested.
Well, I mean, if they're going to do that, why don't they just force close all the restaurants?
Not everybody's a Muslim, I guess. Most are. Wouldn't Ramadan suck though? Oh my God.
If everything was closed, yeah.
Well, no, not only that, but wouldn't Ramadan? Can you imagine like Islam being like the number one religion in the United States of America, and they're like for this whole fucking like this whole month, you can't eat during the day, right? Can you
Yeah, it would be like,
imagine
okay,
just
well,
the economic
things
fucking
everything is
downturn?
closed. Yeah, everything, quote unquote, everything is closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
for
So it would be
every day.
every day up until a certain time period.
It's until sundown. Between sunup and sundown, you can't eat anything.
Yeah,
right?
so they would just close
Yeah.
all the grocery stores, all of the restaurants,
Yep.
any like fast food places, anything like the hot dog guy stand is not allowed.
Yeah, there's no taco trucks in every corner. Nothing. Can you imagine the fucking economic?
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm actually kind of in favor of keeping that shit out of the country at this point. For that reason, someone's gonna take me out of context for sure. The same to the Christians here. Stop it, Snake. Actually, no, Snake. Stop trying to make me think things. But we are. That is cute.
I know. I was gonna mention that right before.
Any Christian working on a Sunday gets brought before court.
I mean, if you're gonna obey your
Has
text.
to swear on a Bible.
Yeah. Stores are closed in Jerusalem. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that, right? Yeah, it's during Kippur, right? Yeah, I could
Yeah.
not do that. But do you want to mention that real quick?
Yeah. So apparently, they're inspired by Disneyland Paris. Disney is planning on hosting its first official Pride events this summer, starting on June 1st.
That sounds like a positive thing.
Yeah, it's in a
that's
couple of
really
days.
Cute. I love it.
Yeah,
And it's got a photo of the mouse ears with the ears themselves have rainbows on them, and the on the front of the hat it's got Mickey's hands and a heart
It's cute.
with rainbow in the heart, and it's super adorable.
Yeah, it is.
And I love it. And
That's
it makes
sweet.
me very happy.
Yeah, so there's Paris. Good job there, Paris. Pride Month does start here in just a couple of days.
Yes.
So make sure that you get all of your all of your Pride stuff.
Yep.
I have all the ally stuff that I have and everything. If you are supporting, and I just happen to know this, if you're supporting Beto O'Rourke for President of the United States of America, their store has a Pride section that you can get stuff. It's actually pretty cool. Don't at me telling me that I'm doing Beto stuff. I'm just saying it exists, and if you would like it, you can go and get it. It is non-tax deductible. But Cheshire, you have graciously come on to the show this evening, and by the way, thank you again.
Yes,
for,
thank you.
for coming on. What we like to do here is, for the last few minutes, give you the floor completely. We might even mute ourselves, although that's unlikely, but we might. The only reason that's
Dangerous.
unlikely is because we did that before, and then we were talking and didn't really. Anyways,
Yeah.
but so that you get to talk about what you do, what your show is doing, because I got the one that's coming up here, and you said like September, and then
Soft
also,
launch is September.
and also and then at the end, once you're done, we're gonna say how you can get in contact with us, and everything, of course, is in the description. But also, you also get the last, like your sign off or whatever it is. And that's the last thing anybody hears. So
Yeah.
Whoa!
You
yeah,
gotta think of something. If you
Lot
don't
of
already
pressure.
have it, you gotta think of it now.
think of it while you're talking.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, will do. So we run the Slippery Slope show. It's me and two others, David and another one that goes by Muppets and myself, and it's essentially like a three-way comedy sketch show. It's all animated and it's high-quality animation. It's not like, oh, the mouths move. No. It's high-quality stuff. Walk cycles, the whole thing. We're currently in pre-production. So currently we've got all of our characters dancing around, which you may or may not see soon popping up on the channel. It doesn't currently have anything in it, but if you would like to see a little bit more of the process and like, oh, here's all the eye shapes, oh, here's all the mouth shapes, that stuff goes up on the Twitter, so you can feel free to follow along there. Should be getting our proper URL in a couple of days, if I'm not mistaken, because the channel has to exist for a certain amount of time, and we're just waiting for that existence to time out. I also do art in general. So if you have anything you need, I do people's channels art. Sometimes I'll do profile picture art. You want D&D art? I'm your gal. Come to me. I got you covered. Everything is DMs open. The only thing is I don't do are things that are illegal. So as long as it's not illegal, I have a problem with it. The goal of the show is essentially to stop taking everything so seriously all the time. We have really vitriolic arguments, and a lot of the time things get really contentious, and everybody takes things a little bit too seriously sometimes. And so the idea is to help not just bring the atheist community together, but to bring all of the communities together that are having these discussions and be like, hey, come on, guys, we're all just a bunch of monkeys. It's all fine.
Filthy monkey men.
Yeah.
Yep, we're all just a bunch of damn dirty apes, and relax, it's fine.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you'll stream you'll stream like your process too.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. We're still setting up. I'm currently in the middle of moving from across Canada. So once I'm set up and the internet is running, I'll be doing live streams of some of the art, of some of the scripting process. You'll be able to like watch somebody's character come to life. So if we're doing like a Kyle or a Steve or an Aaron who have all agreed to come on the show, you'll get to see the process of their character getting built up from scratch.
Nice.
I also tend to take requests on stream. So if you guys tend to think of something ridiculous, you may or may not see that pop up.
Nice.
It's always ridiculous stuff. We do ridiculous stuff on this show, I think, every episode.
Yeah, pretty much twice a week, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. How can we put the links in a description, and I think that I put all of them.
I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
But how can folks follow you, just for?
Twitter, Instagram, DeviantArt, for me personally, are all the same name. You may just have to adjust the number of Q's at the end. It's either 1 or 2, depending on where you're going. Slippery Slope Show is just The Slippery Slope Show, and on Twitter, it's The Slope Show.
Cool.
Awesome. And we do have those in the description, so do make sure that you do go and follow her. She does make some really great art. We did see the
Enhancer.
There was something that was dancing. I saw it a few days ago.
That was probably me.
I think it was you dancing. Yeah, Shakira, I believe it was.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. We've got an updated one coming soon, and I do believe the song is the Sailor Moon theme song.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
Well, you can follow Susan on Twitter.
Yes, I am Motel Cowboy.
Yep. And you can also follow me. I am at Atheist Husker. You can also, I forgot the corgis.
You forgot to put them.
I forgot to put the corgis. Darn it.
It's cool.
You should, but do go and follow the corgis. They are at Dose Corgis 15.
Yes.
So go and,
They're
go and
adorable.
follow them.
They're adorable. And the corgis have now joined me as I go to the bathroom.
There are Twitter photos to prove it.
There are.
Now.
And if you want to follow him with sports stuff, he also does sports stuff. He is Nathaniel Husker on there, so he's Atheist Husker and Nathaniel Husker.
Seems accurate.
I'm Motel Cowboy.
Yeah.
You can follow the show at Divine Disbelief.
Yep.
There's also that. We are like 5 subscribers away from being able to
5.
get our custom URL.
What if I can see it? I can see it.
I think you've broken it now.
Wait,
Let me
we did?
see. Did we? Oh my God! Let me see.
Somebody said we might have broken
Hold on.
it.
Hold on.
We're looking.
Did we get 100?
Refresh.
101! Yes!
Oh, you just broke your mouse
I broke my
again.
mouse. Oh, we broke 100 and I broke my mouse. It's not actually broken. I think I could probably pick it up and
You can
probably
put it
work.
back together. It's fine.
Yes!
Yay!
Yay!
We have a custom URL now.
Yay! We can get that. We can be like, yes. And it's
very excited
obviously
about this.
going to be very difficult for us to choose.
I'm unreasonably excited about
Yes.
this.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. What else?
Make sure you subscribe if you have not already, because
Like, subscribe, share, hit that like button,
Yes,
ring
smash
the
that
bell
button.
for notifications.
and we'll be at
So-
1,000 or something before we know it.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. We get our own URL. I'm
do.
so excited about that.
So, on Saturday the 1st, there is a meeting of the Texas Democratic Secular Caucus that is in Fort Worth. It is in the afternoon. I don't know the exact time, but it will. It's our quarterly meeting, so we will be discussing issues with the caucus itself. We have a tax ID and we have an Act Blues now, so we can actually take dues and donations and stuff like that, so we're good with that. And then on June 2nd, so the next day, which is the Sunday, we are going to be giving our presentation on the state of sex ed in Texas public schools at the DFW chapter of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. That's going to be at Los Jimadores in Bedford. It's over on Harwood Road. That is at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
So if you'd like to come and hear our very unique presentation, which we need to work on probably tomorrow. Well,
Yeah.
we have the whole thing written. We just needed to do a couple of tweaks and stuff. So
Yep. And
do
we're
some practicing.
we are probably instead of having a guest on next week, we are likely going to stream the
Stream the talk.
Yep, stream that presentation so people can see it. And that will be instead of being like the state of secular news and stuff like that, it'll actually be something that is incredibly important. If you want
Right.
to reduce the number of abortions, motherfucker, we're going to show you how.
Yep. I mean, we're not directly going to, show you how to...
Put on a condom. I'll do it.
Yeah, we're not.
Don't care.
No coat hanger demonstrations.
Exactly.
Nope. None of that. Never again. So, Cheshire, you get the last word.
Subscribe to Slippery Slope Show if you want to get some good times and some comedy. Look for me for art. Find me on other channels. I just keep cropping up everywhere. And remember, if you're coming to find me, rules don't apply. Bye.